There is no triangulation in celestial navigation. So it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation. So it is actually triangulation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation to the GP. So you can draw it on your chart, draw a line there, and then you do it for all three, and you get your intersection. So it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation.
Are you serious? Are you?
The double-speaking McBooger-eating, ball-tarred bum sniffer wouldn't know what the sextant or celestial navigation were if they climbed up his arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in concertina wire.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
What the hell did you just say?
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
Say what?
Yes, a gas giant bounces radar.
How in the world can a
Gas giant
be
solid enough? So yeah, I don't know you
dumbass cracker?
So yeah, I was being a hyper. That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
You are so dumb. Damn.
To celestial navigation, but not intellectual.
Shut up! What are you doing talking on my show? I was in the intro.
Sorry. You're always talking on your show.
Son of a... And we're off. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below, or you can listen to Adam interrupt the show. Betty!
It wasn't even started. How can he interrupt if
he did? I was talking.
No, he was talking.
No, I was talking, introducing the show.
Yeah, well, that's your fault.
And normally your line's open, so we hear you, so everybody stops talking because we realise. But no. But to be fair, it was Humble H's fault, not mine.
Yeah, my line was open. What?
No, the first I heard you was when you said "shut up."
Yeah, because you were over talking. Damn. Oh well.
Normally starts with an indictment of you, Betty. It's nice, isn't it? A little bit of a change is as good as a rest.
Well, at least you can go without any obligations now, Adam. I mean, you can sort of say, "Okay, I'm hurt. I'm off."
Wait, what did you say? It was a fantastic crossfield ball we just played there. I weren't listening.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a sign of my true commitment. My friend QE.
Yeah, you should be.
Even when I'm busy, I'll give him that time, Betty. I'll give him that time, even though my Forester claim.
Yeah. Well, as far as you know, QE.
That he should be committed. Yeah, as far there's another thing going on here too with YouTube. I go live in, and I've spoken about this before. I go live in OBS, but in YouTube Studio, the damn thing won't give me the blue go button.
So
I
it's
have to
red.
wait, and then I said, "Oh, to hell with it." Let me what is that? Restore? Reload? So reload the page, and I said, "Okay, it should work then." Nope. Then reload Studio again, and then it pops up. I mean, this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You're okay.
Okay.
See, that's Adam, and it's my cue to shut up and leave.
First world country problems.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of awkward.
So didn't you notice Kim or Flatsy say something to you to say first?
Say something. No, I didn't look back in there.
Oh.
First,
You
she
should.
said, "Good morning, worm."
Yeah, that's you.
But no, I'm not. No, I'm not the worm.
You're the good morning
Yes.
worm.
Good morning, worm. You just made that shit up.
You always
No.
say, "Sorry, I'm a worm." So
Yeah.
There you go.
And if anyone has a clue, they know that's from a movie.
Oh, well, you should know that also Jesus said it.
Highlander. There can be only one.
A worm?
Yeah, it's a statement in there where he's sitting in a church. He says, "Please forgive me. I'm a worm."
Ah.
The one that got his head cut off, the Kraken.
The Kraken.
Whatever
Kraken
his
is like
name was, I can't
an
remember.
octopus.
Shut up.
It was the Kurgan.
The Kurgan, that's it.
Just saying.
Luckily, we have someone
Something
with
like, I
knowledge.
don't know what the conversation was. Better to burn out than to fade away or something. I don't know. I have to go back to that scene. Check it.
Maybe you should, because
Shut up.
you're out of context.
All right, what do we got here?
If you say "shut up" one more time, I'll call you Bud. Okay.
Oh boy.
We find out if Bugger's here then.
Bugger!
yeah, you do. Come on. Okay, that'll be enough. He's whining. Super chat.
Super
Tom,
mullet.
Tom Hayward. He's being whiny today. Oh, thank you, baby. Super chat. Glad I gave your content a chance. Conspiracy peddlers got me through the door. Then QE and Nathan locked it behind me. Sad to be stuck in this room with Neil, though. Ha ha ha. P.S. Looking forward to the book.
Thanks, man. Yeah, glad you walked through the door. Sorry about Neil. Where is he anyway?
Oh, here is he.
Oh.
Because I asked him to cover for me. You got to come and cover for me, Neil. Watching the football.
I got you. Okay. All right, so what have we got on the table for today, Betty?
Can you still hear me? Because I was frozen for a while there.
You're good.
All right.
Let's get a little type of action we got here. Set up. There you go.
That was a long super chat, by the way.
It was pretty long. How long can super chats go? Do you get how many characters?
I have no
Depends
idea.
on how much you buy.
Huh.
Ah.
Not so much. You don't train to time. I thought it was a high quality, man, and very complimentary. Thank you.
Tony says you may start, QE.
with him.
he takes over Nathan's role. That's a good one, Tony. That got me. Thanks.
You may begin.
So what are we gonna do today?
See how many backsliding comments I can make.
No, not backsliding. Backhanded comments.
Slight-handed?
Not slight-handed. Backhanded. For backsliding, that's more of a
Moonwalk.
Yeah.
Dance move, isn't it?
No, it's when like backsliding is when you go back on like a change in your life and you go back to old habits. That's more like backsliding.
Uh-huh. Like a
That,
backsliding
what,
Christian.
what she was trying to say was backhanded slights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many words.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of.
Yeah, I think from now on, a backhanded slight should just be known as backsliding.
Yeah.
I just gave you a good backsliding.
I just gave you a good backsliding. Jeez. Put the Dutch in charge.
So you have a backhand slide and then also a forehand slide?
Oh, forehand slap.
What?
A forehand slap.
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 Oh. I was thinking about tennis, maybe, but.
You were thinking about Are you high?
Yeah, tennis like a backhand, and the opposite of that.
Backhand, forehand, spin, serve,
smash,
charge the net, spike.
Charge the net. How many people are charging the net?
I played some tennis back in my day. I
was. Yes, you did.
I was never. Every time I came to the net, I'd always screw it up. So I was more of the hoping the other person would come towards the net and then hit as hard as I could possibly hit it right at them.
So they had to step away and they missed it. Oh my god! I would do that with badminton.
Oh, I hit one kid tried to pull that on me. He came up to the net and I smoked it. I hit him right in the nose. It exploded. It was just blood everywhere.
Oh, and that is nice playing.
Wasn't my intent.
Well, that should have come with it.
He didn't charge the net anymore.
He probably stopped playing tennis altogether.
Yes, he did. The next day he went into a coma.
Have you asked if he come back yet?
Nope.
Super chat.
Maybe you should ring in.
Super mullet. To put a cork in it, Betty.
Superlicious.
Tony Whitcomb sent, I told my mistress that she has a fat bum. She said, yeah, it's called Tony Whitcomb. Grr.
I told my missus. What?
Oh, my missus, my wife.
Yeah, I know. Flatsy screwed up the pronunciation of it.
I said mistress.
Mentress. Yeah, something like that.
No, I didn't say that. I said mistress.
You said what?
Mistress.
Mistress.
No.
No.
Okay, I can't. I just can't.
Okay, it's one of those days, right? Booger, save her.
Is Booger on strike or something? Is he not getting the...
Yeah, he's being a little turd right now.
Oh, I like it. Tell him he's affecting the show. Just point out that, he's ruining it for nearly, 50 odd people, I bet.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably be all right in a few.
Thanks, Tony. You bum. Hey, he said sack Flatsy. Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, rude now, huh?
Yeah, rude. Very rude.
We got Don Corleone in here. Are you the one that made up the Coriolis effect?
He's the one that's gonna put a dead horse in your bed. So this is going nowhere.
Yeah, fast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let it keep going nowhere. Let's see where it goes.
Probably to food, because I'm going to have a pizza in a minute.
Speaking of which, I'm eating right now.
It's gonna be a pizza polo.
Yeah, we couldn't tell when you were talking with your mouth full or anything.
I'm sure you couldn't, Flatsy. Just
Why are
stand
you
back before you
eating
get
at
sacked.
the fucking show? Why are you starting to eat at the first minute of the show?
But this is going to be
Since when?
profound. Wait a second. I was hungry.
Unfreaking believable. You can't eat a little bit earlier or later?
I wasn't hungry, and then when the show started, I got a mite peckish.
Yeah. You know, you sound like one of these kids that can't, like...
Here comes a backhanded slight. I'm back. Go ahead and backslide, Betty.
You are one of those kids that when they are putting a lot of candy in front of them and say that, okay, you can't touch this, it's gone when you turn your head.
I never liked candy.
Yeah, but it's with you, it's with everything. It's not even candy alone, but it's everything. Everything edible. And you want it served too.
Huh. How is it? Is this right the hand in my chat?
Where?
You sack sniffing fungus muncher, you. Where the hell you been, you doofus? It sounds like him. Look, science is a religion. What a numbskull. And the scientific method is their Bible. Oh, God. Whose? Define religion,
Not the
idiot.
racist dude.
Say again?
Not the racist dude.
I can't remember. Is it?
I'm sure that's the guy that we stopped talking to because he was like really racist to chocolate.
Really?
Sure. Right the hand.
Can't remember.
I'm sorry if I'm calling you, dude. I don't know. That was my instant thing that popped in my head.
Do you remember, Betty? It was a long time ago. I mean, other than him being a retard. Other than that, did he do something?
Right the hand?
Yes.
I know that he was really bad at writing and kind of obnoxious sometimes.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, Adam. You might be right. I don't remember.
Big band, man. But he was a flat earther.
I don't think so.
Oh, go on. Yes.
Are you gonna unmute every time you are watching your
I'm
football?
not. Look. I was talking there and we scored a goal. I'm ever so sorry about that.
All right. So what are we gonna do? I was trying to drag this out.
Yeah.
So
Then
we're
you
gonna
need
go
to
ahead
have
and
a topic and
review.
content.
Somebody talking underneath me.
Yeah. Talking. Talk, like chicken.
Oh, Chow Yun Cat, he got beat up by a woman once. yeah.
Was it the guy that went MMA against? Yes.
Yeah, that's
Is
right.
he being beat up by a woman? Is that really a thing?
Yeah.
You did? Oh, that guy. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that movie, that little clip.
I mean, it is funny when you first say it, but I don't think it's right for a woman to beat on a man, especially if he's not going to hit her back because she's a woman.
Oh,
That's messed up.
No, that wasn't that. They went into a MMA fight in a gym. Yeah. because he said like a woman couldn't beat him, and he got a proper licking.
Oh,
He
well,
was
I guess
trying to
that's
hit
a little
back, but he
different.
couldn't hit her, and she just licked him, just gave him beating. I think he tapped out, didn't he?
But I
Years
think the
ago.
woman was honest when she said, "Well, I'm trained," and he was not. But if he was trained, she couldn't have beaten him.
Oh, listen to this. Listen, I challenged your QE to a debate many times, way back with Ranty. He never accepted. A fucking clown you are.
Randy didn't accept. Yeah,
No.
No.
You know what he's talking about, Betty. You know, the same old. He's just like an ignorant baltard. Yeah, it's sort of this routine. Right the hand, idiot, nitwit. You know
why, don't you?
Yeah, it's sort of like, when Tiger Woods is on the freeway and he's driving.
I think you were scared. I think you were scared.
and
Elmer Fudd,
Elmer Fudd heckles him, right? From the peanut gallery. He doesn't pay any attention to him. That's sort of in that vein.
You could have just been too scared back in the day to debate all those other people, but not this guy.
All the other people, but not him. Yes.
Well, to be honest, I only seen you in a real debate with Rumpus once. QE.
Really? Then you're not too familiar with my channel.
Organized. No, I mean a really organized, like setup.
Oh,
like,
really organized,
debate.
like setup. Then you're not familiar with my channel, then.
No, your channel doesn't do debates.
The channel has a debate watch list. No.
It wasn't organized. There you go. What?
Yeah, debate. What are we going to debate about, right? Why don't you come in right now, you friggin' idiot numbskull? I'll take debate. Come on in. Is Righteous in here? Go get... Oh, he can't. I'll bet you he's banned in the Righteous. In the Discord server.
Mm-hmm. Well, Righteous is here, so he can answer.
We'll debate. How much of a doofus are you, true or false? That'd be the debating topic. Fucking clown.
What are you guys talking about?
Right the hand. Remember this idiot?
I don't know if he's banned at the moment. You can try coming in.
Yeah, go ahead. Try coming in, right the hand. I'll whip you around by your incoherent short hairs for a little bit. Nothing else to do.
I'm like the head of the Secret Service. I don't know the thing that I do. That's basically the thing I should know that I'm paid for. If you don't know if he's banned.
Well, it was a long time ago. He might have changed his...
Surely that was pre-server change, wasn't it? All of that before the attack and all that.
Oh,
stuff,
definitely.
isn't it?
Yep.
I want to add this. Back when I was doing my due diligence on my own due diligence to see about Witsit, kind of listening in, there were very funny moments when Right the Hand was in there and really aggravating the heck out of Witsit.
Oh.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, well, that's cool then.
So the enemy of your enemy is your friend?
No. I didn't know who he was until I listened to him aggravate Witsit.
Yeah, Right the Hand has, indeed, he has some humor and he has some ways about him.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, like you can be at some point in time.
Really? How so?
Like I said. Eating
How so?
When the show starts.
How so?
When the show starts, eating, that can be
that's
idiot-like.
No, that's not idiot behavior. That's a hungry guy.
For me, it is. For me, it is. You know that you're going to start a show, and it's sort of idiotic to go and eat.
Right the hand. Friggin'. You're such a pretender clown. I'll come out there and chat and just fucking bitch slap you.
He says that he can't...
Shut the hell up. Just get out of my chat before I slap you, you half a sissy. You think that woman gave you a beating? You haven't seen anything yet.
Why is he banned?
Well, because he starts out nicely and then not so good.
I usually don't entertain chat, so.
I'm sure it's for the reason I outlined.
Chat
The
skanks.
more I'm thinking about it.
The link right the hand is underneath the video.
Also,
Oh.
Righteous Force put it in the chat. He even added RTH, join the server. I'll verify you real quick. And with the link right there.
And then right the hand said, "Where's the link? Where's the link at QE?"
Come on, pay attention.
I don't see him on the ban list. I think he was on the old server banned, so he should be good to come in.
Where's the link at the? Where's the link at the right hand? Of course, it was just posted to you right above you, moron.
See, that's idiotic.
I told you he's an idiot.
So this is another resurfacer, isn't it, then?
Yeah, there's been a lot of them lately.
I wonder if he's banned by Discord itself. Because that's an option.
Yeah, that could. Well, we felt that wrath before.
Yeah. Totally out of the blue, right?
Yeah, just one day, go into Discord. Nope.
Did I see nothing there?
Return to sender.
You know, I did have a sort of like a stupefied moment at that time. Like, huh? And then it hit me that all my work from 2018 was just gone in like one swoop of someone's button finger.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly, yeah.
Finger on the button. Yeah.
And then after you went through the 5 stages of remorse, one of those stages was, again, lash out at QE.
Yeah. Well, that was the first stage, to be honest, and the second.
It was the first and second stage. And then right before the last...
Third. And the last one was all the other boltards that collected like nastiness and posted it to the trust and safety of this.
Oh boy, I remember.
And then when you appeal to these guys, they don't understand that you're like basically a big freaking target as a server owner, because if they don't want you, they can easily do anything to cut you out, right?
Yeah.
That's why I never want to be a server owner anymore.
Yeah. Did we ever find out what exactly happened?
Yeah, but I forgot. It's too much to just.
It's too much to
that.
go back. Yeah. I can understand that. Yep.
There were some people that collected stuff, and yeah, and sometimes even the people that are closest to you are the ones that are doing stuff to you.
Yeah.
And there were some flat earthers that also harm you, right?
Yeah. You'll have that.
Yeah.
Say his name. It's Brian. We know it.
Just say the name, Brian. That's right.
I don't think that Brian is in here, even if on his own, right? Just when the panel's there. I think you are not even here, Adam. If there's no show, right?
Bugger!
Superchat!
Did you hear him?
Nope.
Hey, they can't hear you, Booger. You're too far away. And he won't come here. So, super chat.
Super Bugger.
Tony Whitcomb sent, is it right the hand or left the room?
Yeah.
He's in here. Right the
Is he?
hand's in here.
Oh, he didn't leave the room.
Why would I leave the room, dude? You
You're
would have to probably
dumbass
prove me.
cracker. You
Yeah,
so
no, that's
deluded
fair
yourself. You think you could stand before me? You
Are you
imbecile.
drunk or sober?
So you said science is a religion. Define religion.
Anything you believe that you haven't sensed yourself.
No, that's not it.
Well, that's
right out
your
the
definition.
gate. Right out the gate, you screwed it up. You're a doofus.
All right, so.
So what? So you're a moron.
Okay, and I think you're a moron.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean.
but I demonstrated that you're a moron. You can think what you want. I've just demonstrated you are.
Reading a definition is not a demonstration.
Yeah. Yes, it is. When you don't know what you're talking about, you idiot crayon muncher, you.
So if I define a.
So if I define a.
What was that definition?
That's your logic. That's your
just
I'm using your logic.
Before you two carry on, what was the definition again? Anything that you've. I don't want to.
No. Hold on.
Well, say it again, right at the hand, please.
Anything you believe that you haven't sensed yourself.
That's not what you said.
Like leprosy.
Okay, so like how you haven't sensed the curve of Earth, right?
No, like leprosy. So
well,
I've got a religion of leprosy.
Would you agree that you don't believe the Earth is curved because you haven't sensed the curve?
Let's use my analogy that I've put to your definition.
Let's use mine. Let's use mine because we agree on the Earth not being a ball.
I'm trying to get clarity, not railroaded. So
I'm trying to get clarity too.
I thought you had a point. Sorry. Carry on.
I do.
Hey, I will be the sage. Carry on if you don't have a point in here.
Okay, so
no, doofus. You don't take charge of this show when you don't even know what belief is. Let's see if you know what science is. What's science?
I already told you, it's a religion.
So he's gonna circle jerk back. I told you this guy's a moron, man. Do you know that they're different words? Now, you screwed up belief. You don't know what that is. Or religion. You don't know what that is. And then you said science is that thing which you can't define. You're retarded, is what you are.
You're just using.
I'll try it again.
This is what he brought me in here for, to mute me constantly.
I did. Yeah, mute you because you're stupid. I'm trying to protect everyone against your ignorance. It's like quarantining.
The truth needs to be protected?
The truth? You don't have any truth. You don't even know what religion is or science. Truth. What truth? What truth you got? You don't even know the basic words that come out of that incoherent blowhole of yours. What truth?
No, your truth needs to be protected.
What truth? My truth? What the hell are we on truth
Your
for?
truth.
We were just on your statement. You said, science is a religion. And I asked you, what's a religion? You screwed that up. And then I asked you what science is, and you said it's that thing you just screwed up. Now we're on what is my truth?
No, you're muting me because your truth needs to be protected.
But what's my truth?
You transgender.
So
is he trying to out you? Well, is that what your truth is?
No, I'm just saying you have to protect your truth by muting me.
Let's do another thing. Wait a minute. Let's do another thing. Write a hand. What is your contention with QE, and why is what you don't agree on, and what is your contention exactly?
I want to know the dirty secret.
Because at the end of the day, the scientific method, if you look at the last step, it's draw a conclusion. And drawing a conclusion is a subjective process.
Really? Posted in cite the last step as draw a conclusion.
So I can draw it. What does the conclusion look like? So I can draw it.
Wait a minute, Adam.
What is the last step then? I can post tons of things that says the last step is draw.
No, you said the last step. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, go. We're waiting right now. Cite it.
Are you looking something up?
Yeah, he's looking it up.
Okay. Well, wait.
That's fine. If you could post it.
Mm-hmm. So the last step of the scientific method is not look up a conclusion.
What's wrong with that? Just as a point, it's not subjective.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I just want to see if he could cite it to support it. But go ahead, Adam.
Draw a conclusion to me is describe the results of the experiment.
Exactly.
It's not a subjective
Okay,
thing.
okay,
It's not like a psychological study or something where you've got all these results, but actually because you've not within an experiment elucidated a cause and effect relationship, you've got to kind of look at it, apply correlative studies to draw a conclusion, to infer, to induce something. That's not what science does, is it? So
yeah, it is.
To use that vernacular is to ignore the purpose of the experiment.
Can I explain how it does it and why?
By all means,
Yeah.
So when you say, let's take the most common example, water boiling, right? They say water boils at temperature.
No. Heat causes water
You
to
can't
boil.
even let me get it out.
No, heat causes water
Because
to
you were
boil,
wrong.
you idiot.
So that's why it boils in a vacuum?
Oh
no.
my God.
So why does it boil in a vacuum?
Oh, dear me.
Again, no answer for why it boils in a vacuum.
Well,
because
Crown
of heat.
Muncher. Hold up, Adam. Crown Muncher. Crown Muncher, idiot. Water boils in a vacuum. There are no vacuums in nature, and natural science only deals with nature.
Okay, so you can't explain water boiling in a when I pull, quote, the air out.
The
Yes, I
hypothesis.
can, if you wish. Kiwi, if you want, what you could say is what you're elucidating there is a reduction in what will be the boiling point, i.e., the temperature, if you reduce air pressure.
Nah, it's something
Well,
else.
but see how now you see how it's getting subjective? Do you see how subjective that is now?
No, it's not, because now you're trying to explain something, aren't you? You're trying to give a much bigger reason.
Explanations are subjective.
Explanations,
I can explain it
maybe.
different than you would.
Science isn't. A cause and effect relationship isn't subjective, is it? An explanation could be.
But you have to explain the cause and effect relationship.
That's not an explanation. That's a definition of a cause and effect relationship. It doesn't need explaining. It's demonstrated.
Well, but you had to explain why it boils in a vacuum, or why what happens if
science. It's not science, then, is it? You want explanations. I'm telling you, cause and effect.
Okay.
Right? Now, what you want to wrap around that and pretend that somehow fits in the parameters of science. What we're saying is, lovely. I recognise your understanding, but that's not science.
But you said that it boils in a.
So listen. Your criticism sits in a category error. Do you understand?
Did you not just say that it boils in a vacuum because the temperature gets lower? The boiling point lowers.
If I take all
But did you not just say that?
No, you've not taken on the point.
That's an explanation. Do you understand that's an explanation?
Stop rumpusing, you idiot clown of a dumbass.
Secondary point,
Adam.
Which I tried to engage with you in to recognize what the dumbass point you were making. So I tried to, foolishly, on my behalf, try to add a little bit of intellect to what you were saying. Obviously, you didn't listen to what I was saying. You're sitting in a category error here. You're invoking explanations for science. Stop it. Yeah, when you're critiquing science, you're not getting anywhere. You're not critiquing science when you're saying it doesn't explain. Yeah, doesn't tell me why.
Okay, let's try something else. Let's go. Let's
you brought up explanation,
Shut up.
not me.
Let's do it. Come up with a scientific hypothesis. Let's go through. I'll tell you what. Let's start from the beginning. What's the first step? Scientific method.
According to you, observe something in nature.
It's not according to me, you dumbass cracker. And it's not observe something in nature.
It would be something different.
It's not observe something in nature either. It's observe a natural phenomena, which will be the dependent variable or the effect, you moron.
So observing a phenomenon can't be described as observing something?
Okay, I'm done.
Depends if that something is a phenomena.
Okay, moron. Let's say I observe a tree. Is that a phenomena?
These are your words.
Oh my. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're done. That's it. Sorry.
This is really interesting, QE, isn't it?
on a
Like
tree.
they're resurfacing.
One
They're
second.
resurfacing with the same circular bullshit.
Yeah, it's
they're
just
not
stupid.
even. Look how quick this guy would have entertained us for an hour or so back in the day. Look how quick he's destroyed to demonstrate that he's just chatting shit.
Yeah,
hasn't got a point. He won't recognise the salient points that are put to him. He'll just rinse and repeat. What, 5 minutes before you rinse and repeat, and then proving to the audience that you're not listening to the points being put back to you. You don't care. You're not here to learn, as you said you were.
Go ahead, Betty.
I was thinking about something that he said about the boiling and stuff. And I mean, you can also look at it in a different way with the boiling. The phenomenon that you watch is basically the bubbles on water, right?
Yep.
I mean, so if that's something that you focus on, then heat has nothing to do with it, right? It's just the evaporation of water, and it happens in different environments at different temperatures, right? You can see it that way, maybe. So
He has everything to do with it.
So if you're going to
Super Booger's back!
Yes!
Yes!
I told you he'd come back. Flat Earth Travolta, he sent shout out to the Triggered Fundy.
Yeah, I told you he's a numpty dipshit from the beginning. Yeah.
I think that he might be some of the hyper skeptics, you know.
No, he's just a
Like
moron. Pretend to clown.
like the Pete and Pete, right? That say that water isn't water, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's just H2O or something.
No, he's just an Elmer Fudd sophist. That's all. And then what he does.
Can you prove
Oh,
that
my
water is
God.
always wet?
He's
Right?
just an Elmer Fudd sophist, then he'll rumpus. He'll continuously rumpus. That's what he did before. That's all he does.
No. Mm-mm. I don't think that you give him much room to say something. Both of you guys.
You don't. Here we go with the terrorist friggin' sympathizing. Betty,
Yeah.
so you're going to rewrite history for everyone now. Sure. Go ahead. Tell us what just happened, Betty. It pissed
I
me
will
off.
tell you what just happened is that you muted him.
Yeah! Because he was fucking rumpusing, Betty!
No, not all the time.
Oh my
Adam,
God,
you were
then go
rumpusing,
find
you were
him.
rumpusing,
Go get him.
Everybody's rumpusing.
Oh, so
Are you
what?
going to mute me now?
Go find him.
Oh, you
Fucking
scared him away
bullshit.
already. That's
I don't
easy,
put up
guys.
with
Easy.
horse shit.
Oh, now it's horseshit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Let's rewind and
I
listen to it
understand
again.
that, and that's why you're not a good debater.
Let's rewind and listen to it again.
No, I'm not going to rewind it and listen to it again. I know what I listen to. Sometimes you need to let people talk, right? Like these people that are in these treatments, at least they are able to talk on some different channels so that you can comment on it. Because if it were you could never let them speak.
We did let him speak.
No, we didn't, Adam.
we didn't.
We
No.
didn't hear him say that science was a belief. We didn't hear him say that. And then define belief.
Yes,
We didn't hear
but we
didn't hear him
the
say
deeper
we didn't hear
thought.
him define belief. And then we didn't hear him. He didn't get a chance to define what science.
say
Then we
anything
didn't get a
deeper than
chance. Holy shit. What the fuck is your
Oh.
problem?
Well, we come from holy shit to
What the fuck is your
horseshit to
problem?
holy shit. You?
Obviously. So,
Yeah.
I'll continue. May I continue? So, we didn't hear him define belief. We didn't hear him define science. And fuck both of them up. So we didn't hear that.
You lay words in my mouth that I didn't ask or say.
Oh boy.
So there you go.
All
I
right.
mean, that's a fallacy too, right?
I got a
This is
question.
about what we heard him
Right.
say. It's what we didn't hear him say that you didn't let him say. That's what I'm asking and saying.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's God. Yeah.
Hey, you know, in Holland, is it hug a baller week?
No. Apparently, it's in your country because you're watching soccer. crying out fucking loud.
Kick a ball all the time, not just any week, every week.
You guys are the ones that are the ball huggers. Men, usually.
I appreciate your point, and he's a bad example, but he's got a history, and I don't think I was particularly rude. I think I made points to him, and I was frustrated.
Say that you were rude, Adam.
When he ignored them and just rinsed and repeated the point that I'd actually addressed, instead of it, there was no conversation, and that was my point. It only takes 5 minutes now. These guys, you realise there's no conversation going off. Doesn't matter what he just said, even as pertinent it was to the point he's making. He'll just rinse and repeat, yeah, and try and get a separate point out to the audience. They are just. This is what I said at the beginning. There's a number of these guys popping back up now, a bit like they've had their contracts renewed, yeah. Put another 50p. They've been respawned. It's odd that people like Right the Hand have appeared after all this time. Good to see that they've not changed. Like I say, it's good to see how quickly we can dispatch them. That's what I witnessed there, not as being particularly rude to some newbie. This is
I didn't say you guys.
This is a shit house.
I didn't say. I didn't say you were rude.
Let me finish. This is
but you don't let me say that words. I didn't say. You're laying words in my mouth. I didn't say you were rude.
No, my point was, I think he was given sufficient opportunity, the format not to be critiqued. I think what should be recognised is what just happened. This is repetition of 4 or 5 years ago. Like I said, dealt with more quickly. And in this case, as far as I'm aware, this person doesn't deserve anything more than that. First thing he should have been doing, coming back, is apologising for his previous behaviours. Which is why he's disappeared so long. I thought he was dealt with fairly, given an opportunity to speak, and when he demonstrated what he was going to do, he was dealt with fairly.
He was cut off.
Sorry, but I saw something different. But go on, you guys have other stuff to do. It's time for my pizza.
Good idea.
I got a bacon and boiled egg sandwich that's just sat here ready to start.
Yeah. See, and QE gives me the goodbye sort of sign, so that's good. Later, guys.
You off? Yes. It's time.
All right, you guys got this in Discord?
Well, I can see it. Yeah, just do a sound check.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll give a sound check. Like I said, this is the previous video that we went over. I think it was it QE Live, the last one? I'm pretty sure it was. So this is, again, Will Duffy going to Antarctica to prove flat Earth. We stopped right here at 21 minutes, and I was figuring this would probably be the end of it. And after the show, I hit the next 15 or 30 seconds, and there was some more meat on the bone, so I decided, yeah, let's go ahead and do it and see what else is here. Earlier today, we went a little bit further. There's some other nonsense in here. I didn't listen to the whole thing, so I don't know what's going to happen here. We might have to clip through a few spots. But this is Will Duffy along with Autodidactic, and that's his channel, Autodidactic. I think he's a flat earther. He makes some statements that he is a flat earther. I'm not too sure. Ancient Historia, we don't know what he is, and we all know who the author of the final experiment is. Mr. Duffy here, the Dozy Duffer. So that's where we're at. Let's get a sound check. 5 seconds. Here we go.
That's crazy. But yeah, like, and so yeah, it's basically
all good.
Go back.
All good.
Go back a fiver.
No, don't worry.
Here, 1 second. 1 second, please. Got to pick up. All right, I think it's resolved. Here we go.
It was crazy. but yeah, like, and so yeah, it's basically that. In my mind, there's evidence for a flat Earth, and there's not really any evidence for a globe.
What would you say to that, Will, that regards to parallax and?
Yeah. So
yeah, parallax. Could you define it, either of you, first?
I've thought about a lot of things in trying to come up with the final experiment, and I've thought.
What does that have to do with parallax? And that's not an experiment. You don't know what an experiment is. You're an idiot.
About these things, and so I just want to throw a couple ideas.
Not a couple ideas. He's talking about parallax. Focus. My word.
Out there for people, which is this on the parallax issue.
Oh, now we're gonna get to it. What's parallax?
What if the model is wrong?
See, now I know you're going to take objection to the word model. But he's not talking about the flat Earth model, is he? Here, he's saying, what if the ball model is wrong?
Yes.
In this sense, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because he's ignorant, frankly, because it can't be, mate. It has to be this way for it all to hold together. You can't have changing parts of your heliocentric model, whatever that is.
That doesn't exist.
Exactly, but do you get me? But
yes. So maybe the model's wrong. That's profound. What a doofus.
Who was it?
And again,
who was the guy? At best, you've creaky Brian. At best, you might have disproved the R value. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Not realizing the implications for his bullshittery.
Exactly.
In giving that, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is completely hypothetical, but what if we do live on a globe, but it's not, traveling at the speeds they're saying through space?
You're train wrecking. He's train wrecking himself, but he doesn't realize it, which is hilarious.
What if the Earth and the stars are traveling at the same speed, right? That's one option. Could be true. That would.
Yeah, it could be true. Is it true on the globe model?
No, this is like retard level, isn't it?
Yep.
What if they were all doing what? So what he's invoking now is that there will be no parallax because the rate of change of stars movement is they're all going in the same direction wouldn't stop that. That would demonstrate parallax again. All of them moving for you to attain the preeminent position in the universe so that there is no parallax is what you're invoking whilst trying to keep your paradigm. It's Hubble's problem, the geocentric issue. So what he's now actually realizing is, holy shit. Or he's not even realizing what he's invoking. He's trying to hand wave it away, or they could all be going left all together. That's what he's saying. Therefore, no parallax, because they're all going left. Yeah, non-direction. As opposed to realizing the implications of if you're going to have all the stars hold their position just for you, that's quite profound, daft lad.
Answer that. And then what was the second? Oh yeah, the second one was the lighthouse that you mentioned. And so what if we have if the globe model is accurate, what if we have the size wrong, right? If
the globe model's accurate, what if we've got the size wrong? OMG, he's a retard. Oh my God.
Can you not hear Booger?
I didn't hear him.
Can you not hear him having a coronary heart attack after that statement?
Booger, you got it. Super Booger.
Okay. Flat Earth Travolta sent Duffy has a parallax, a lack of intelligence, and a lack of a model.
Thanks, Flatter Travolta. Do we need to hear this one more time? I'm thinking so. Here's the J. Call your therapist.
Yeah, the second one was the lighthouse that you mentioned. And so what if we have the, again, if the globe model is accurate, what if we have the size wrong, right?
Stop! If the globe model, whatever that is accurate, what if we get the size wrong, i.e. it's not accurate? That's what you just said.
What?
Yes.
He knows, surely he knows that his entire paradigm is depending on his radius claim.
He does. Now, that even before we get there, Flatsy, you're exactly correct. But even before that, Adam's focused on the first statement. Super booger, super mustache, super Flatsy.
Flatter Travolta sent again. If you really want your brain to hurt, watch one of his sermons.
Oh God, no, no. Are they on video? You don't have to super chat again. Are they on? Does he have sermons on YouTube?
I would assume so. If he said that you can watch one of his sermons, I don't think that Flatter Travolta traveled all the way to his church just to watch one.
Wow. Hold on, Adam. I'm going to play it again because we've lost the plot here a little bit.
Before you do, that's the point. Just to respond. The point I was making earlier, Flatsy, about creaky and at best you've changed the R value is no, I don't think they've bothered to look into this enough because they know it's a ball. Yeah, so they don't need to look into it so that they can make the mitigation. Well, it could just be a bit bigger. They don't realise the implications within their paradigm, the knock-on effects, that it all falls apart.
Yeah.
If you can, reason you can see a bit too far is because it's a bit of a bigger ball.
Probably because they keep hearing pretender clown flat earthers say it.
They're Jedi mind tricked by pretender clown flat earthers saying it. Let's go back. All your statements are correct. Everything Adam said was correct, but the profoundness of the first statement. Listen again.
Oh yeah, the second one was the lighthouse that you mentioned. And so what if we have the, again, if the globe model is accurate, what if we have the size wrong?
So how can the globe model be accurate?
Okay.
Did you get it?
Man, I love when you catch those little things. You major on the minors, but actually that's kind of a big deal. Like he's like, if it's accurate, but it's not.
The scary part is he actually said that with a serious face. That's the really, really scary part. Now, everything that he just doesn't understand. He's absolutely clueless. It's like Elmer Fudd giving the keynote address at a metabolic pathway convention. He knows not what he's saying.
That contradiction is the highlight that demonstrates he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
Only because it's laughable, because if it's accurate, but it's got a different R value making it inaccurate. I said it's the implications for every other bit that he's going to imagineer after this is based on R. This is why it was fundamental in flat earth debate. You're going to need R for that. Remember those days?
Yes.
You're going to need R for that. You're going to need, and you do every single bit of it.
Yep. Well, I just thought I'd stop there because there you have it, folks. He's the chief of the final experiment with that statement. There you go. Have at it. We'll move on.
Right? If we have the size wrong, which is possible, we obviously can't get out a tape measure and measure the earth. But if we have the size wrong, that would explain why we see too far. So these are the things that I was like,
I'm sorry, Adam. My mouse is acting up again, little son bitch. Hold on. Let me pull a J. Let's get that 2 J's because it wouldn't stop. Sorry, bastard.
And so what if we have the, again, if the globe model is accurate, what if we have the size wrong, right? If we have the size wrong, which is possible, we obviously can't get out a tape measure and measure the Earth. But if
Mr. Baller, the size of the Earth being wrong is possible. Understand the implications, daft lad. Yeah, I'm happy. Just go there and everything falls apart. It's brilliant. Even gravity, the rate if I drop something or change, won't it? Every single bit of your heliocentric nonsense falls apart.
Yep.
Based on R.
Yep. Did you hear his rationale? We can't really get a tape measure out and measure the radius. Really? Then how do you know what it is? He's just so stupid. This is really, really bad. This is well below your average skank and foul baltard from 2015. It's worse than that, ladies and gentlemen.
This guy just literally shot a hole and deflated the entire globe right there.
Yeah, he hung a millstone around his neck and then threw himself overboard. But he doesn't realize it.
He's the guy that's spending all this money. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Apparently so. The guy that's on charges.
Uh-oh.
If we have the size wrong, that would explain why we see too far. So these are
You know, I'm okay with him being around. Let's keep him out here for the Globers. Let's do that.
I think they should make him president. Globetard president, Will Dozy Duffer Duffy. Unbelievable, son.
These are the things that I was like running through.
I want to follow that logic. The reason we see too far. So on a day where I see a bit further, right, am I on a bigger ball that day?
Yes, it inflates and deflates, yes.
Amen. To know the majesty of creation.
Trying to figure out what we could do as an experiment that would be more black and white and more definitive and not just
more definitive than what? Than your inaccurate globe model that doesn't exist. And experiments, son, you don't know what experiments are. You're in a category, or this is a complete non sequitur fallacy.
Just create more questions than it solves.
What creates more questions than it solves? The globe model.
Yeah, I suppose because it is very difficult.
It stumped these guys. They were like, what? Huh? Was that a conclusion?
One for flat earthers to explain if there is a 24-hour sun, because it would have to at least rework the entire flat earth model.
Really? Which model might that be? Your straw man model that you got in your head. So we need an explanation to describe the straw man model and how it's wrong. I don't think so, Sunshine. You need to get a clue, son.
To somehow incorporate that into it. So at the
into what?
Very least, you'd have to say, well, this model isn't working.
What model? What model's not working? And do models work? What is a model? What is a scientific model? Are we talking about scientific models? Runway models? Computer models? Which one? Clown.
Okay. And I suppose what you said about parallax, that possibly could work in a geocentric model.
Mm-hmm. And another model. It's models for everyone. You get a model. You get a model. You can have one. What are you?
No,
what is
it couldn't. No. Parallax would still apply in a geocentric model. Yeah, that's.
Yes.
This is very ignorant.
Yeah, he doesn't know what parallax is. That's why I asked these two idiots to define it initially.
But what have we got here now? That we're still on a ball, but actually we've abandoned the heliocentric paradigm. Yeah? Because it's now geocentric. So maybe that would explain why there's no parallax. So we're just geocentrically on a ball. Oh, that'll do for me, Cocker.
Yeah.
This is feast of nonsense. When we describe it, it's tossers with who haven't bothered to actually look into things, making announcements that just show that they've not looked into things.
Couldn't it? Which was obviously something that was argued in the 1600s. That's why Galileo was a naughty boy in the eyes of the church, because they were obviously.
What church? You said you used the church, the definite article. What church might that be?
The church that always knew it was a ball. Remember that one? That then attacked him for when he pointed out. Yeah. Remember your conflated, confused history. It was always a ball. The church knew it, which is why they treated Galileo like a twat when he said it was a ball. Heresy! Because they knew it was a ball.
Makes perfect sense.
The geocentric, and he was like, actually, we're moving around the sun. But
who said that? That we are moving around the sun? Copernicus. How do you know that?
Can you guys help me out with something?
Sure.
What, a frontal lobotomy? I don't think that would help.
He shit his pants.
You already got one.
Ah, there he is.
Evening, Neil.
He already got a lobotomy. He don't need a frontal one now. He's done. Listen to him.
A guy in the chat says I'm full of bollocks. What are bollocks?
Usually they're your balls, but it's more you're full of BS.
They're full of
Yeah, you are. Well, he just laughs it off.
I presume that's a fellow Brit.
That's definitely a Brit, man. That's definitely a Brit.
Yeah. I'm glad we pinpointed where he's from. That's important. What's his favorite color?
I want a J, and I want you to look at the amount of face touching that goes off after he realizes.
What does face touching mean?
Him touching his face.
All right. I'll give you a J on that one. It's painful, though. Here we go.
More, you're full of BS.
They're full of,
I presume that's a fellow Brit.
That's definitely a Brit, man. That's definitely a Brit.
Yeah.
Twice.
Oh, here we go. Octave Doctor. There you go.
So twice.
As soon as it dawned on him, he's just realised, I'm being called out.
Not for anything.
It's interesting body language. It's interesting because he wasn't. There's nothing before. As soon as he's pointed out, it's BS. Nervous twitchers. Yeah? You would be nervous if you're already in court, being sued for possible deception of people between $1 and $1 million, as he says.
People have been very skeptical because I was on Old World Florida's channel the other day, and I mentioned that I'd had the interview with you, and I was going to be doing this one with Campbell, and I did receive some very interesting messages from people that wanted to know some things. One person wanted to know how long you've been a pastor for. I think they're a bit suspect about your background.
Yeah, I can tell that story. So in September.
Yeah.
Right. So, quick question: if there's any people in the audience or in Discord that are part of a congregation, how do you get to being pastor? How does the obviously there's always a pastor before you, and they leave for whatever reason. But how do you get your new pastor? Is there anybody out there that genuinely could answer that from a personal experience? How did you get your?
I know.
Come on, Neil.
You do not have to have any type of background, any theological school. You could start your own church if you want. Now, if you're going to be part of, let's say, the Baptist or the Pentecostals, then they do want some schooling. But you could start your own church. You don't have to necessarily be appointed a pastor. If I wanted to, I could go start a church.
Let me ask it another way. If like you got your previous pastor and it came from the head of the other churches, and then this time like Your new pastor comes in because you've just lost the old one for whatever reason, and you say, "Who's this guy?" You say, this was a prophecy from the old pastor." How would you receive that as a congregation? Say you're the Fifth Presbyterian Church of St. Americasville, yeah? And you're told that the reason this new pastor's coming, not because of his previous good work in another parish, is a bit smaller than yours, hence why he's being promoted, but because the previous pastor had a vision. How would you, as the congregation, receive the new pastor? Would you praise God, or think, "Well, this is a bit slippery"? What's all that about?
September of 2021, my pastor died unexpectedly, and he was very young, early 60s, and so my family was very affected. We had been attending that church for over a decade, and so we left the church. And then his wife, his widow, approached me, and she said that he had always told her that he had hoped one day, way in the future, maybe 20 years in the future, I would take over for him.
Huh? Okay.
When he died. And so I had to think about that, and I talked to the congregation, and they all wanted me to take over. And so I took over in November of 2021. So this was nothing that I had planned on doing. It's nothing that I specifically went to school for. It kind of was circumstantial.
It was just that the previous pastor took me as my Padawan, and my wife knew. His wife knew that I was his Padawan. I didn't know I was his Padawan. And the congregation obviously knew that I was his Padawan, which is why they all came to me after he'd suddenly died at the age of 61.
Forget about that, Adam. He said he left. After the guy died, he took off.
How you ruined my narrative! I went to the Jedi Temple to pray because I'd lost my congregation because...
Super stupid.
Oh, super chat.
Super stupid.
Yeah, there's two of them, so he was right.
Oh.
Roger Ledwell sent, duffel bag is a chicken. I don't want, you know what? Anyways. And Flatter Travolta sent, this is not generally how pastors are selected.
Thank you, Earth Travolta. That's kind of my point, yeah. Unless it is like standard practice in, there we go, the Fifth Presbyterian Church of bullshit, which is what I'm smelling right now. Really, Neil, as anybody who's a part of a church, is that the story that's real? My favourite pastor, he had a guy, and the family had been around for about 10 years.
Yes, Adam. Times Square Church, Pastor David brought in Pastor Carter Conlon and groomed him. He stepped down because he was getting older, and Pastor Carter took over for him.
There's no grooming.
He took over for him.
No, there's no grooming here. He wasn't grooming. He says, that was never part of my plan. It was just part of the prophecy that the previous pastor had obviously had and shared with his wife and the congregation, so that when he left after the death of the pastor, they all came back and said, "No, the previous pastor wanted you to do this." That's why he's pastor. Not my story.
Can we get past this?
Doing before this?
Pastor the pastor.
Yeah, so I was in the financial services industry for a very long time, over a decade. I wrote books.
This is pre-pastor.
Yes.
Books, which you can find on Amazon. At least you can find the reviews. The books are no longer available because I moved on and retired.
Is this during the time that the previous pastor thinking this is the next pastor, as he's demonstrating his love for Christ in the financial services industry, not training to be a pastor?
No, Adam. He's probably going to pastor a prosperity church, if you think about it.
Look at you.
He must have been ministering in his financial services work for the other guy to say, this is the guy going to take over my part in 20 years' time, assuming I don't die an early death. That's what the pastor said. Assuming I don't die an early death, this is the guy that I want to take over from me in 20 years because of his outstanding ministry work in the financial services industry. It's all coming together now. I can see it's like God's put him on this path, isn't it?
It's all God's plan.
Retired, and I couldn't keep them up to date. But yeah, I was in the financial services industry. I had my own business. I helped people with investing and insurance and tax planning and all of that kind of stuff. So
hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Insurance, tax planning. Hey, who did that and left that job to join up with Jesus? So it was a job you leave. There's almost a level of biblical symmetry with this guy, isn't there?
So somebody sent me something that you're probably going to know who sent it me when I show you. So I'm just going to share my screen because it's something that we were going to bring up. So Campbell, that is coming up to you now. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, so I got sent 3 articles just regarding this thing called Emerson Equity, William Duffy. Yeah, and apparently you're being investigated for financial fraud, is it? Or unsuitable? This one's unsuitable investment recommendations. This one was, unsuitable investments between 100 and 500,000. That was 2023, I think. And then this one's 2024, saying that important notice to...
Ow. Theft and deception is theft and deception, isn't it? And depending on the opportunities of where you can apply theft and deception to your personal gain, depends on how much money you get. So if you on a council estate, there's a certain scam, you might earn a tenner. If you're working in the financial services industry, obviously there's a potential to earn a lot more. But in the eyes of God, Mr. Duffy, is theft and deception, doesn't matter the amount attributed by man, does it? It acts the same, whether you say it's £1 or £10 or £1 million. Theft and deception is theft and deception, isn't it?
Yes, but to be fair, I mean, he's not been proven guilty of anything, so...
And if that's the case, to me, as a person that would be absolutely disgusted at that, being accused of that, the thing I would want to point out is that I didn't do any theft and deception, not that it might have a low monetary value. That would be the important thing to me. No, I didn't do it. Not, well, if I did, it was only a couple of quid.
Right.
That'd be my...
I got you. I'm tracking with you, Adam. However, the overall point is, and his behavior seems a little bit strange too, but, I'm not a professional. However, I did sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night. All right. This all sounds a little suspect, but at the end of the day, I really don't want to go down this road with him. I want to stick to his points on his balltard, if you follow.
Excuse me. No. This guy is out there pimping for a company to get me to spend $31,000 to go and prove my Chinook sun theory, and therefore demonstrate that the Earth is flat. By showing a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, knowing we've got 2 suns, rotating in a Chinook-style effect, proving flat Earth, right? He's trying to get $31,000 out of me, right? I don't know how much this other company might be profiting from his pimping of this tour, because remember what he's selling, He's selling this tour to go and see it. So I think the credibility of the man in his previous history in financial issues is because I'm going to potentially invest $31,000 in this. I have to look at this. Who's selling me this tour? Almost there, bugger. Thank you, son. Now, because I'm about to invest that much money, it's reasonable for me to investigate the man before I spend this much money. And the first thing I thought is, well, he's a pastor. He's a good ilk. And then I find this out, and now I'm thinking, should I invest? Is the company part of this scam? I think I should need to contact the company.
There's 2 super chats. Booger said them, but Roger Ludwell said Tycho Brahe, you get it, and Flat Earth Travolta sent $31,000 is a healthy markup from the trips I found.
And there you go. That'll be the next part of my due diligence, is to ensure that there's no profiteering going off this. What's the price straight off the website? Is there a markup been applied? Do go and see something that the website doesn't advertise? These are all questions of legitimacy if you're about to spend $31,000. Reasonable questions for anybody, surely. Unless you just like the kind of guy that says, just sign here and I'll make you a load of money, and then you end up getting sued down the line because you weren't actually fully truthful with people when you're asking them to impart with their money. Like,
I don't know why nobody's telling you,
right
but
now.
you're roboting really bad.
Who is?
No, you're not roboting.
Who said that?
Jenna.
Maybe it's me. I'll go out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, drop Jenna and come back in.
Drop out.
Oh God.
I'm dropping out. We'll see if it works.
Okay.
Customers
Not doing that rant again, though.
Yeah, don't do that rant.
William Duffy,
I
and they're
will.
reaching out to people. This family suffered up to $1 million in damages.
Yeah, notice it says up to, right? So that could be $1. So what these are is these are ambulance chasing attorneys.
Yeah, he just confirmed what you just went over, Adam. Yeah, I see what he did. Not that he's
I didn't do that, Your Honor.
Yes.
I didn't even bruise him when I punched him in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I punched him, but didn't bruise him, so it's fine.
Yeah, I got you. He just confirmed everything you just said in his next statement. For God's sake.
Okay.
And this all has to do with a single investment that I recommended to clients called GWG. And GWG got into trouble. The government was investigating them. As far as I know, never found any wrongdoing, but they kind of shut them down and didn't allow them to raise more money. So they went into a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And as it stands right.
Yep.
Non sequitur. What they did has got nothing to do with your moral standing on what you did. If you were truly innocent, you would say, this thing I sold in good faith. It's not what I'm being told here. I'm giving mitigation for other people's.
Yeah.
Yeah, not.
Yep.
Bad man.
I'm following you, Adam. I got you. Yeah. Correct. Yep. It sounds a bit sketch, and his remarks to this are sketch to the 10th power. However, I'd really like to get past this. You know where I'm going, Adam? Even though it lends itself to the man's character, I got you. I don't really need to flame the guy for that. I just flame him for his Baltard beliefs. But point taken. Can I skip through this?
I think like I say, I've got a point to prove. I truly believe that there's 2 suns, right? And when I see the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, I'll know that the Earth is flat and we've got 2 suns.
Sure,
yeah?
Sure, I got you.
I'm prepared to invest. I'm just at the point now where, is this a guy that I should spend that money on? And Flat Earth Travolta has told me that there's a markup on this. I think, the point has been made.
I think it has. I'm going to kind of skip through this, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said,
right now,
interesting.
Exactly what this is. And so for me to even offer this to clients, I had to go through a broker-dealer, which is Emerson Equity.
We don't really care. Yeah, don't care.
Well,
going to
unless of
chat as
unless of
well,
course
like these things.
the financial demons, you know, have got hold of him and they say, look, mate, if you want to get out of this trouble, we need you to go to Antarctica.
He's running to Antarctica.
I don't
through before,
Oh,
and I'm going to go
hold
through it
on.
again, and it.
Pause. I want a J, and I'm going to use the term never a truer word said in jest.
I think I skipped past it. It's much further than a J, so I'm not going to be able to get it at him.
Okay, so what he just said, or you could look at it as that the powers that be have said, right, you want to get off these legal charges, then you're going to have to set up a fake trip to Antarctica. Yeah? That's what he's insinuating. This guy, ancient historian, like I said, who does history research, he smells a rat, doesn't he? Yeah. And what he's demonstrated here is that outside of our little community, this story's got out there and it's big to the point that the internet trolls have investigated this guy and shown that he's not the pastor he portrays him as. We've got this bullshit story about why he's a pastor, and then we've got this dubious financial history where he's under investigation for malpractice, frankly. That's my information of where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still smiling, isn't he, with his nicely groomed beard and white teeth.
Yes, and then Ancient Historia wanted to give him or make light of the situation with the demons and then his recompense. So he's trying to make light of it. It's in poor taste. Got it. Can we continue? Thanks.
It's
but isn't that crazy that it's called the land of fire and it's literally the land of ice? Apparently,
well, that's because Tierra del Fuego is a different people. Well, they confused it for Tierra del Fuego. So there, and he's going to be like, I'm not going home.
Sorry, guys.
So
yeah,
that's it.
and they can't catch you if you're in Antarctica because the rules are different out there. That's what it is. We're going to get there, and he's going to be like, I'm not going home. This is all a big ploy.
If I stay in Antarctica, I will probably die. That's what
I thought he wasn't going. I thought he's just sponsoring people to go. Is that correct?
I don't know. It all smells a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Might be these are going now, suddenly they're not going. We're going to have one from one side. I'll give up my ticket. Sounds to me like if he manages up selling a load of tickets at this inflated $31,000 price, I bet nobody goes other than the people that have paid the $31,000. Sounds a bit like a timeshare scam, if I'm being honest.
That's why we're going in the southern summer.
Yeah.
Who was it? Admiral Byrd said that there was lots and lots of land, didn't he, down there? Bigger than America, like good for growing. So
Well, good for growing. What are you growing in sub-zero temperatures? An attitude? That was pretty stupid.
Originally, as well, they confused it for Tierra del Fuego. So for a while, everyone assumed it was like literally the land of fire. And
but isn't that crazy that it's called the land of fire and it's literally the land of ice, apparently?
well, that's
Haven't you ever heard of irony?
because Tierra del Fuego is a different piece. It's like a little island off the coast of South America where Magellan sailed through.
Yeah.
Magellan. Is that where's he from?
Northern English.
Okay. So I never heard him called Magellan. Is that a thing?
Magellan.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We'll carry on.
Yeah, the further you go back in maps, though, the bigger it gets, right? And
The further you go back in maps, the bigger it gets. Really? Interesting. I'd like somebody to show that.
ends up connected to a landmass down there.
What?
Actually, I know that was a cluster screw of a sentence, but what he's describing is, the chain, these straits at the point at the bottom of South America, how it's described in the land does change, and the further you go back, the more land there is there. There's the point of an ice wall being described as Terra Australis, part of that still on some of the maps. Yeah. The point being is that, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't part of the mainland like it is now. It was a separate set of islands. Islands of Fire, by the way, which might imply some. I don't know. I don't think they're using irony. It's Islands of Fire and it's fucking freezing. I don't think they're meaning that. It just shows you that the maps change over time, and maybe the geography changed. I have to imply a conspiracy.
Because they didn't realize you could actually go. Well, they kind of did, but they were scared that if you went south, you'd just keep going and then go east again. So they were like, well, "This is the only way through." And then a few years later, they went.
You're going south, you'll end up going east again.
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm snoring up here.
Even if, I mean, that doesn't even work on a ball, does it?
No.
Round and we're like, oh, you can do it. Never mind.
What? You keep going south.
Yeah, turns out
and then eventually you can't go south anymore on a ball. You're eventually stuck. The only option is north.
Well, now you go east.
Their lives for nothing, fellas.
No, it's all those sea monsters. I mean, talking about maps too. Like, have you come across the problem with the tropics? Like, our tropics shouldn't be Capricorn and Cancer because they all come off the year that we're, the what's it called, the era that we're in, because we're going now into the age of Aquarius.
What?
This is gonna hurt. So, because this is part of culture as well. This part of the sky. Let him explain it, and then you can laugh, and then I'll maybe try and clarify it. I think I ain't gonna know the point he's gonna make. So.
And so as you go across, as you traverse the equinox, the great year, like the ages change, and as that changes, the tropics should change as well.
Okay, so that's something I looked into. So the point of
Hold on, Adam. Hold on. You've got to set the tone. So you've got your gemstones out. You lit a few scented candles in a ring. And you've got this book out. Carry on.
Because there is a point to this. Because this is to do with ephemeris stuff. This is to do with how we describe the celestials. To the point that the passage of the sun is described via these two tropics. I.e., at the point in the year where the predominant constellation is now described as Tropic and Cancer, those two different points, that isn't the prominent point anymore. Yeah, it's I asked my mistress QE this. I think it's pre-Christ, okay, where the points where if you take the equinox and look at where the star field is, it's 2,000 odd years ago when the most northerly point and most southerly points in terms of the sun's transit can be described as being in the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn at those times. Today it's something like Sagittarius and something else, yeah, because of the precession of the equinox, which is, let's say, from a historical point of view, interesting because it shows you how old the dating and reference points of all the maps, all the maps we use Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Well, that's 2,000 years old, that flat Earth measurement, which is a GP position of the sun. But today, what he's making out the point is actually, no, that wouldn't be the constellations that would be appropriate to describe it like that. It would be Sagittarius and in Aries or something. There you go.
Sorry, just one question. Did you say you asked your mistress?
AI. So I have this. I cheat sometimes in terms of knowledge. I found that Gemini AI, is very useful as a quick accumulator of reference material. I've referred to it as when I'm talking to QA, I said I've checked with the mistress. I've not turned French and just gone and got I'm 50. I need a mistress.
Did you hear the statistic I gave about France recently? About them abolishing the paternity test in France because people are so promiscuous that when they had the paternity test, it was breaking up so many families in France that they just banned it.
Reasonable.
So the topics we've got, Capricorn and Cancer, are from like 3 ages ago, I think. So do we even know that the maps we're looking at, you know, because when you look at maps, you've probably seen this too, Luke, when you go back even, 400 or 500 years, the changes in them is ridiculous. And we're told, you know, it's because they didn't map and they were just making stuff up and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of detail in these maps, and there's towns in them, and there's all this stuff. So, I mean, we really don't even know what Antarctica is, do we? Like, all we know is what they've shown us. I mean, we could get down there and it could be the land of milk and honey. It could be green for all we know, because it's pretty hot down here in Australia, and apparently we're not that far from Antarctica.
No, you can't just go down there and find out if it's land of milk and honey. So from the testimony of Robert Shortman, it's very much controlled which areas you're allowed to go in and which you're not. And he had, in his testimony, access to an aeroplane, which he even flew at one point. And they were very specific. You can go here, don't go there. Why not? That's not ours. It's basically you'll get the plane shot down. You keep out of those areas, you stay in these areas. This is our bit. Stay in it. So that was how he explained the territorial aspect of Antarctica that he experienced. You don't just go anywhere you like. You can't just toddle on down there. When people talk about the Antarctic Treaty, that's really what it's about. It's not that you can't go down there, but that's the kind of conspiratorial garbage that's fed in at the Feast of Nonsense. But in reality, how it's governed and what you can and can't do down there is very strict, even for somebody who's authorised to be there and has been there or was down there for a long period. So there's a lot of misapprehensions and smoke and mirrors going on in terms of what the Antarctic Treaty actually does and doesn't allow you to do. Some of the things in it aren't treated seriously. So again, part of Robert Shortman's testimony was leaning into the idea that we have to be super careful about how we treat the Antarctic area. Meanwhile, he's talking about turning the heating up too high and releasing all sorts of dormant species that were all in the wood. And they're all these bugs are getting released because he's got the heating a little bit too high, and they've all come out of hibernation and started flying around. Alternatively, when they just used to dig holes and shove stuff in it. It's like, well, that's not very green. But yeah, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the treaty itself, and yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 penny worth.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
actually,
definitely shrouded in mystery, which is all the more reason to go. It's exciting.
Well, exactly. I think you should take us, me and Campbell, as a package deal, right? That is, and you've heard it. The people here will believe if Campbell come back and says so, and I'll just be there as the neutral guy to go either way. It'd be great.
Yeah, I wish I could pay for everybody to go, but I just can't do it. So,
are you sure? Just do another.
That was a lie. See, his shoulders, before he said it, his shoulders were about 3 inches higher. Just scrub back. You don't have to play it. Put it on mute and then just show his body language in the last 15 seconds as they finish talking. His shoulders rise. I wish I could pay for you, is what he says afterwards. You're like, no. Body says no. They don't have the qualities. They don't have the attributes that Jaron and Dave or Whitsit have. They need a great big group of flat earthers to be presumably disappointed at the end of this process. It's not about your neutrality. You know, it's about your ability to go along with the affirming the consequent fallacy and let your counterpart, in this case Dave McKeegan, assume antipodal positioning without you making too much of a fuss about it. That's the qualities that they want from people like Jaron and Dave McKeegan.
Because they've not bothered to research. And look, I'll admit, when Pastor buys me the ticket and I get to go, and if I go there and I don't see that 24-hour sun, I am going to be disappointed as somebody that is a flat earth believer with a Chinook sun system. Of course I'm going to be disappointed. I'll move on knowing that I've just got one sun and it's flat still. No, that's the dichotomy for me, and you know, the experiment's going to resolve that for me. Have I got one sun, or have I got a Chinook sun system? And
Adam's done this too many times, so I'm going to cut him off. Anyway, I did actually join for a reason, a point of note from earlier, but I don't know how long this is going to last. Can I get it in now, or if you're impatient, QE, I'll let you play on?
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Because he's eating.
Yeah, shush. Okay, so earlier on, Will Duffy's talking about, he's not, but he is, talking about the Black Swan rebuttal when he says see too far. I won't read too much between the lines to explain why I'm saying that, but he did say it, we see too far. Well, that's one of the aspects of argumentation that we brace against from our own side. Now, there was two other points I was just eating as I was listening to it, but there's other points that they make in terms of the way that they postulate their position to affirm the consequent, which tallies or parallels with our own side. So while I'm listening to this, I'm going, okay, so he uses a we see too far argument as a defense, and our own side used we see too far as a proactive position. It's like, how much more of an obvious finger point towards the neutral outcome from both sides do you need? You know, no one's going to win in these arguments. If their defense is we see too far, oh, we're just seeing too far. And that the pro-flat earthers, in quotes, that is to say, I don't think they are when they're telling you it could be. That was the other one. You know, when they say we see too far, it's alarming that they're all on the same page singing the same song from the same hymn sheet. The other one was, it's just going to be a bigger ball. That prompted me to join. I'm like, okay. So Dave Weiss, quote, it could just be a bigger ball. End quote, Dave Weiss, when he couldn't say it was just flat. Well, here's him, Duffy, saying the exact same thing, right? From a pro-globe perspective.
Yep.
Could just be a bigger ball. So they're all got the same play sheet, haven't they?
Yes.
Then Adam started turning it into a bit more conspiratorial when he's like the younger guy, the northerner, as you suspect he is, was saying, well, you know, are you just doing this as a tax dodge, or, you know, to write off your whatever the word is. What's the word for his dodgy affairs that is this just to write off your misgivings? Ha ha ha. You said many a true word in jest. Well, I'm not going to speculate about it, but what I will point out is that there are those that we also brace against on our own side, often to our own detriment because they've got the bigger catchment of flat earthers, that are literally singing the same song as Duffy. Identical. Too big, could be a bigger ball, we see too far. They're both saying the same thing. How much more obvious does it need to be to the people who are actually flat earthers what's going on?
That's a welcome point of mitigation, as I said there. So it's not, there's a causation here that Pastor Will invokes, yeah? The reason we see too far is it's a bigger ball. Which is why I then said to QE, oh, so when I can see a bit further, are we on an even bigger ball day? Because there's less curvature to have to deal with. And when vision's restricted, I'm on a small... If you're going to invoke that as a defense for why we see too far, then you invoke a causation, which makes it laughable, which means you've got the old meme that I put up, what size of ball are you on today? Figure out your distance to the horizon, yeah, and then you can work out the R value, backwork it the same way.
No.
It's a causation.
I braced against this 4 years ago. I brace against it now.
You're not listening to what I said.
I am listening. You're about to calculate out a large radius.
No, exactly. You're about to go down a route that you didn't listen to what I'm saying. They're invoking at this point a causation for why they see too far. That was a parody. Don't worry about the calculations that you can attack. Look at the point they're doing. They invoke cause of why they see too far. It's a bigger ball. That causation has implication if they're going to invoke it, was the point I was making.
Yeah, and 4 years ago I objected then because we were doing it on their behalf. I remember bracing against 10th Man as he calculated out, or passed on to the live audience, the calculations for how big the ball would have to be if you were to use the Black Swan and calculate out the radius based on 9.6 miles or greater than. I'm like, why? So we're going to just say it could be mitigated for by a really big ball. Yeah, and the response I got from the people who were doing it at the time was, yeah, but the ball is so preposterously big, it's like it doesn't matter. That is an avenue of mitigation. If you give them 0.1% bigger ball, that will explain all. The calculations at absolutely astronomical distance. The fact that the radial value would be at the equivalent of the moon's orbital value in terms of the outside edge of the ball Earth, if you calculate the radial value of the black swan, it's neither here nor there. You give them 1/10 of 1 millimeter bigger, and, well, it could be a bigger ball. It's suddenly the mitigation regardless of the calculations. That's why I objected 4 years ago. Stick with the black swan in terms of the premise. Once it breaks, the geometry is broken. Not the geometry is broken. This is how broken it is. It would have to be a ball this big.
Right. So by their logic, they're describing not how just the geometry is broken, but how the geometry changes every day based on how far you can see. That's the fundamental of their causation for why you see too far. Don't be afraid to embrace it. It's there.
No, I don't need explaining to me. The mitigation I understand. My objection comes that there's a perfectly good logic, and the reason it's rooted in black swan logic, the reason it's using the Karl Popper analogy, is you only need one. Oh no, let's offer up the mitigation process with the calculation after the fact, when you only need one to break the geometry of a ball. That's it. Once that one black swan was presented, you know, I don't need people to show me how many shades of grey swans there are. That's it. It's over.
I'm not asking me to show you. I'm saying use this, beat the baller over the flat because it's their definitive statement that the reason the distance I can see is dependent on how big the ball is. They've made the statement that it might be a bigger ball. That's the causation for why I can see a bit further than the geometry of the ball would allow. Not refraction, Bakak. They've just invoked that the ball could be bigger. So in which case then, laughing my tits off, because tomorrow I'll see a bit shorter, which means the ball's lost a bit of weight, has it? And then next week when I can see even further, it's put a couple of pounds on. What are you on about? This is your logic, baller, you're describing to me to explain why in your paradigm you see too far.
When you say they say it's a bigger ball, we see too far, who are they?
That's Pastor Will.
And?
In this case? Well, in this case, just Pastor Will, because I'm talking to him.
Okay.
He said it.
Who else says it?
Admitted it.
And? Who else says that?
Dave. What? Well, do you mean Flat Earth Dave?
Isn't that amazing? I thought Nathan made a very profound point there. And I think it got lost.
It did. I was going to bring it back on track. I also made the point in the chat, in the live stream chat, while it was coming up and being discussed by you guys. But yeah, my point is, just so you don't have to rewind it, you can just see where I made my remarks originally when he's saying it. But I absolutely thought that Adam would lean into this because he was like, well, maybe he's just sorting out his tax dodge or whatever he's guilty of. I'm not saying he's a tax dodger, but whatever he's done wrong, allegedly, even if it is just to cover myself. I'm just saying that I didn't necessarily want to lean into, but the fact is, they've all got the same arguments. Yeah, the ones we're bracing against, going, you shouldn't brace against flat earthers. Well, what? Because they tell me that I see too far based on ball mathematics of the limitation of a ball, and I'm not allowed to be objecting to my own side saying that. Yeah, I will. Well, here's Will Duffy saying the same thing. Well, quote, it could be a bigger ball, end quote, Dave Weiss, when pushed to say it's flat. He didn't. He decried it and said it could be a bigger ball. That was what Dave says when push comes to shove. Will Duffy, could just be a bigger ball. We're going to be finding that out when we go down. What? You all objected and laughed your tits off. But they're singing from the same hymn sheet, aren't they?
Yep. Yep. I thought it was profound. Good job, Nathan. Outstanding. Good catch.
Do it, so.
Are you sure? Just do another financial fraud. It'll be fine. What's one more?
There it is again.
Yeah.
There it is again.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. There's a real response. My laugh there, yeah, which I couldn't control. I had to lean back from the mic. That's fake. Ha 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 ha. That is ha 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 ha. Hold up. There's a level of truth in this, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's an embarrassed laugh.
Yep.
The reality is dawning.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, like, and just hello to everyone. 377 of you watching. I'm just sort of looking at all the comments here.
Oh my gosh!
Just
let me now go.
No, I love it. That would be my reaction if I was laughing like that nervously. Oh, what's the ham-handed segue I'm going to use here? Quick, let's talk to the chat.
Let's just be nice to each other, people. We're allowed to have. We don't have to agree, but we don't have to fight about it.
No,
right?
stop.
So,
Ham-handed segue to the chat, and then a call for peace. Are you having a laugh?
Yep.
I was going to say as well. Have you looked into other kinds of
fraud?
Well, maps.
Sorry, that was low ball.
Irregularities.
He left.
You can get away with it. Timing is everything. If you're gonna go for a low blow, get the timing just right. You can get away with it. That was perfectly timed, therefore totally allowed. You can get away with comic aside. Have you looked at any other frauds? Perfectly timed, perfectly acceptable.
It was low though. I couldn't help myself.
Have you looked into other kinds of
frauds?
Well, maps, constructs of what the Earth might be. There's a guy called Gojflamasty, I think is how you say it. He's like the crater Earth guy. Have you seen that? And he thinks that we're in a crater, but on a supersized ball, maybe.
Huh?
What? Huh?
Yeah. So I think this is Aristarchus, dude, not the plasma moon projection.
We're going down a weird. Are we going down a weird alley here?
Yes, because if you take the Aristarchus crater on the moon and look at it really closely, you can make out something that resembles an azimuth equidistant projection of a globe Earth. And therefore, you could work all sorts of nonsense and build a YouTube channel around that one. I think he's the Aristarchus guy, not the plasma image of the moon, whole moon on, the whole Earth on the moon, which has got the continents and stuff.
Let's just summarize it. Adam sounds like he's had a couple of drinks. Moon is a map. Dodo Earth. Moving on.
I'm familiar with that model.
Sorry, because the thing is, we could be on a massive, massive ball, right? I mean,
right. So no bollocks, because I want to deal with Oakley there, right?
I want to deal with Oakley.
Yeah. The reason I'm putting this in is you may not understand, Nathan, what Campbell just said in terms of the.
Excuse me. The guy on the panel that's joined, OK Computer, yeah, he goes on about this ad nausea. Don't patronise.
So, like I said, okay, appeal to somebody else, Nathan. Don't deal with my question. You may not understand this. I know Click OK. He's well informed. I'm not questioning whether he would know. You didn't, and neither would the viewers, which is why I'm putting that into context.
I said, moon is a map, Dodo Earth. What I gave about as concise a summary.
It was the underhand Adams had a drink point.
Yeah,
right,
it was that one.
I see. Attack my credibility because I pointed out as had a drink. Oh, okay, I'll remember this.
I mean, you are correct.
Yeah, but he stated it explicitly.
I thought it was obvious to everybody. For goodness sakes, what is it? It's 5 to 9, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
You all know me.
I won't do that again. I thought by saying moon's a map, Dodo Earth, that would concisely move us along. QE. I won't do that.
I got you.
Because you just demonstrated that you didn't recognise the difference between a plasma infusion of the surface of Earth imprinting on the moon and just looking at one particular crater on the moon, Aristarchus, and looking inside of that to get your map. That's the difference.
Yes, okay, that was something subtly tangent to what I already understood. No, I wasn't referring to a map inside Aristarchus. Fine.
I mean, it still doesn't explain why the stars, don't move. But as long as you've got a lake big enough, which is basically what the world is, then that's flat, right?
Yeah.
And if you've got islands coming out and stuff, so I mean, I'm just throwing it out there because there are a few different, theories.
He doesn't care.
What we might be on.
Will Duffy does not care.
Nope.
He's indifferent to all of this, which, again, slightly suspicious. Right, your average rank and file anti-flat earther would be outraged by that. Yeah, basically we're in a giant lake and it's all flat. response from Will Duffy. Shrugs his shoulders. Yeah, he's just going through the motions. He doesn't care.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it'd be interesting, like, to go down there. I'm more interested in just seeing what's there, because it's like space. Everything we know about Antarctica.
Like space. Was somebody talking in the background?
Yeah, me. I was just shouting sideways look, sideways look. Every time Will looks. Watch his eyes.
We've been told.
Oh, yeah. I noticed.
By those who wish to
He's just checking the chat on a monitor or something. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Rule us, right? And we know what they like. We know that they don't particularly like us or like us knowing the truth. So, there could be habitable land down there.
Yeah,
Pause.
that's.
I think you got Adam. I think you got Adam quite low because I can hear him and you can't.
I can't hear him.
Let's just pause there, because Campbell's made a point. I'm going to be interested as to whether he responds to his point. Yeah, because I don't think he's listening. I think he's got, as Nathan said, he's got his own agenda here. He's not even interested in convincing you guys. Yeah, he's just here to no. Like it doesn't matter what he does. He's not here to prove it. He's just got to do this, hasn't he? As they've alluded to. They're very odd. It's not even what I'm unsure about spending me $31,000 for. Yeah. It doesn't even come across as a total grifter. He comes off as ambivalent.
Part of the reason we're going is to break through this, and there's a flat earther named Jaron Campanella.
Yeah, no, Jaron.
And he's great, and he's like he's being a little bit hard on flat earthers right now. He's like, hey guys,
huh? What?
You're not on those flat earthers.
He's not a flat earther, number one.
Hold on, you've moved on. I just acknowledge Adam's point. He hasn't addressed it at all, Adam. He didn't acknowledge a single smaking word that Campbell just said, just to acknowledge what you were pointing out before we move on to what he's saying about Jaron.
I'll pull a fiver.
And he's like, he's being a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Pull another fiver.
Yeah, we should, because this is like going into Discord. You bother to take time to talk to people, and the thing that comes back is just like, hello, what am I, chopped liver?
Yeah, no, Jaron.
And he's great, and he's like he's being a little bit hard on flat earthers right now.
You don't need a fiver. You just need to point out that Campbell's got no spine. He's just put a point to him.
There's a flat earther named Jaron Campanella.
Yeah, no, Jaron.
And he's great, and he's like he's being a little bit hard on flat earthers right now. He's like, hey guys, we've been talking about Antarctica for 9 years, and not a single one of us is gone. It's time for us to go. Let's go.
I'm a flat earther.
Sorry.
I haven't talked about Antarctica for 9 years.
What's he talking about? If Jaron's saying no one's gone, it's Robert Shortman, chopped liver.
Yep.
He's one of us. I know the guy. I met the guy. I spent many hours with him. Right? What the hell? No, we've got people who've been down there that are flat earthers. We've got their first-hand testimony. It's been completely ignored. Because we have.
Somebody said down where. Brian, what's up, Brian?
Hey, sorry, my internet was gone again just like today.
Yeah.
Sorry about that for not being able to go on.
Was that me?
Down
Did I
where,
say down?
number one. Yeah. Who else?
They're gunning for me today.
Did you hear, Brian? Did you hear him attacking me earlier, calling me a drunk and stuff?
He didn't call you.
Yeah.
Some kind of innate agenda going on.
How many flagons?
1.5.
So it's like saying, "Oh, you're calling me a heroin addict? How many times you shot up? Well, only twice. You're a heroin addict."
How many times does Sherlock Holmes need that pointing out? Everybody knows Sherlock Holmes is a heroin addict. It's incidental to his genius, isn't it? It's not relevant. It just is.
All right, let's get back to the down part. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know where this down place is you're talking about, and I don't know what down place Robert Shortman went to, but there is a place called. Sorry, Flatty. Go on.
No, I was interrupting you. I was going to say Down syndrome.
Oh boy, that's bad.
Look, let's not drag this out too much. I've used a bad word.
I think we should
rub it
focus
in.
on that. Yeah. Say it again, Flatsy. So who's got Down syndrome? Flatsy?
I wasn't saying that, but
Oh, you
I
did.
didn't say anybody had Down syndrome. I was saying, where's this down? I was like, Down syndrome.
Yeah, where's
That's
it
where the
coming
down
from?
is.
Yeah, touche. Nice one, Flatsy.
It was Nathan that triggered you to give us that pearl of wisdom.
Yeah.
Bloody drunk.
Okay.
And
he's in. So what is he?
Say again.
I'm saying Jaron Campanella is not giving anyone a hard time about anything. He's nothing to do with me, and he wouldn't come near me to even attempt to give me a hard time. Jaron Campanella. He's a nothing. So.
On your radar, is he going to go in with you, or
Yeah,
or
I
is that
think
just
so.
when he's
Yeah,
he's
I
up
think
for
so.
it? So
Yeah, he and Austin Whitsitt have publicly agreed
Okay,
to
yeah.
go.
okay, yeah, that Whitsitt dude, he's a smart cookie. I've seen a couple of his things.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, I've seen a couple of his things too. Double speaking lion sewer rat. Yeah, double speaks mostly within the same breath. He's brilliant. Good job. Idiot.
You saying you don't agree with Campbell's appraisal of Whitsitt?
No.
I thought that was clear.
I thought.
No, but right. So now there's the problem, isn't it, guys? Ryan, this is the problem. Actually, that, as I warned on Twitter, when I went on Twitter, actually, there's so many people that profess to be flat earthers that think Whitsitt is a smart guy and he does speak for them, whether we like it or not. As galling as it is, as frustrating as it is.
Yeah.
He gets right into the technical stuff.
Oh, he does. Whitsitt gets into the technical stuff. Usually the technical stuff is the headline, and we don't want to go into that. It would take too long. Technical stuff, your ass. He doesn't even know the difference between nouns and verbs, Campbell. You clown.
And that's the thing, there's the
Right,
sort
so
of,
pause.
the flat earth.
What?
That's the standards. Okay, so as I said, these guys don't know shit. Will's invoking a possibly bigger ball to save his heliocentric paradigm, the fecking retard.
Yeah.
This is the level of education they've got for whatever paradigm they sit on, to the point. And I say this respectfully to you, Campbell, an ancient historian, that you can sit there in your ignorance and listen to Whitsitt and think he knows what he's on about. Anybody who does know what they're on about listens to him and pisses their sides as he demonstrates he knows naught about what he's talking about.
I think he's about to talk about the photoelectric effect. Is this guy about to say it? Is he
You can either split your sides or piss your pants. You can't piss your sides.
You can.
Proof
You know, if you
sort of
listen to
get when
Whitsitt long enough, no, let's do an experiment, Nathan. And you're going to have to do 740 hours of constantly listening to Whitsitt, and I bet you piss your sides.
No, let's go down somewhere and make an observation.
the curvature, the
You know
star.
why? Sorry. You know why? You know for certain that anyone who says Whitsitt's really smart, you know for certain, or Jaron's really smart, or David Weiss is really great, you know that those people have no critical. Basically, they must be smarter than those people because they have to be smarter. Go on, Whitsitt has to be smarter than everyone who says he's really smart.
What you're saying is, when someone proposes that Whitsitt or Jaron are smart, it's an endorsement on how stupid they are.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it means that they're smarter. That Whitsitt is smarter than all these people that say he's really smart.
Yep.
So he is smarter than all of them. You have to give him that.
What's the average? Sorry.
The average? 0.
Only because Whitsitt appeals to it, but He used to claim he had 140 IQ or something, didn't he? So isn't the average IQ 100? And then when you get down to sort of sub 80, the army would suggest that you're not actually of any practical use in terms of what they can make you do, and that's kind of reflective on society. Those with a sub 80 IQ aren't much use, but above you put them to a net worth in terms of what they are productive with doing. But most people, if they're average 100, you've only got to be 101 to outsmart that average, haven't you?
I just see it as them lending their mind to these people. Like, they don't want to think about it. They don't want to see if what he's saying is correct. They just want to go ahead and assume that he is, because what he's saying sounds nice.
We're going to see how smart he is. We're going to see how smart he is over the... I'm sorry, Adam. My turn.
You go.
We're going to see how smart he is over the next month. Not that there's over 24 hours on my channel of showing how smart he is. Just see the playlist. Witsit Clown. Finish it off, Adam. Let's move on.
I know it's a bit of a rant, but the only way you can see or come to the conclusion that you think he's smart is for you to be, as Brian said, for you to be considerably dumber than he is. Because anybody of any intellect that actually bothers to listen to what Mr. Witsit says comes to the conclusion that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He contradicts himself. Yeah, he invokes fallacy.
Yep.
Thing he'll hold other people to, and that's the reality. And that's, I say, it's not an indictment. It's just a statement on how bad the intellect is in flat Earth. That somebody who's a genuine guy, Campbell, can sit there and think that Witsit is a smart guy.
The flat Earth proofs you sort of get when, the curvature, the stars, NASA, fakes, but all this kind of stuff. But then some people like Witsit, he's gone like right into it, hasn't he? Right into the whole.
Right into what? What's his flat Earth proofs? What are his?
Blue oyster bar.
Say again?
The blue oyster bar. That's what he's gone right into.
Isn't it the coffee cup caustic? The blue oyster bar.
Blue oyster bar is the homosexual bar from Police Academy.
I know.
Oh, how it all works, how light refracts.
How it all works, and Witsit knows how light refracts. Really? Yeah, that's brilliant. Where's it refracting at? Clown. Well, I'll tell you what, Witsit, you successfully Jedi mind tricked the moron masses. You have to give it to you. Dumbass.
And this is the point, right? When people like Campbell realise that that's a load of shit, I'm not bothered about Campbell, but other people who go down and they drill down on the new paradigm they've been given, and they go, oh, that's more of a load of bollocks than the ball. The reason I watched this for, what conclusion did they reach? This is why it's disappointing. This is why you shouldn't speak for us. You're not flat earthers.
How this and that and blah, blah, blah. So
this and that. You got the blah, blah, blah right. You picked that up from him. He does a lot of that. Blah, blah, blah. What a clown you are, Campbell.
There is lots of proofs out there. And
say again?
Let's not get into the minutiae. That's what Witsit does all the time.
Yeah, let's not get in there. We'll be here for 8 hours. All in, I call. Let's get into it. Clown.
And that and blah, blah, blah. So, there is lots of proofs out there. And that's sort of another reason I go with the non-globe model is...
The non-globe model? What's that?
It's the we see too far, it's not a globe. That's our model. Our model is we know it's not a globe. It's the I know it's not a globe model.
You don't really get that from the globe side.
I can't tell you it's flat, yeah? I can tell you that we see too far, that we measure things flat, yeah? It's this strange... This was part of the 2019 tour back in the day. Reasonably, there was a level of uncertainty, and people didn't want to go onto the streets and say, and this is the beauty of where we are today. We couldn't. I agree with him then. We couldn't go on and say it's flat. So it was renamed the Globe Lightor because that was the best we could honestly demonstrate and prove.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable given the circumstances that you didn't know it was flat. Yeah, back then you didn't know it was flat, so it was perfectly acceptable to say, I know it's not a ball. Well, yeah, that's perfectly fine until the point that now, if someone came up to me on the street and said, well, or the conversation developed in a public space, so to speak, and they said, well, what do you think on the subject? I would have to say, I know it's flat. And anything other than that as a response, I would feel like I was lying. Because I do know it's flat. And once you know it's flat, you can't give any other response because you know it. That's the point of knowing things, isn't it? And if you say anything that's beyond that, like, well, I know it's not a ball, it's like, well, that's Weasley. When you know it's flat. The point being, they don't. Our representatives don't know, and that's why they're a bit shy. Like us back in 2019, well, not necessarily all of us in that particular time period, but as an example that Adams just gave, on the Globe Lightor. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You're not confident enough to stick your neck out and say it's a flat Earth because you know it's measured flat. Well, we do now. So therefore we find people who can't quite commit to that standard objectionable. You should be at that standard where you know by now it's been 10 years, as opposed to being duped with affirming the consequence, where you assume antipodal positioning and allow your opponents to do it in a false dichotomy with models being the topic. We dealt with models in 2017. These reification fallacies that we're now having to deal with in a false dichotomy again. It's absolute garbage. We all know it's flat on this particular server. We all know it's flat on Flat Earth Debate and BALLBUSTERs. Who's representing us? The ones that can't say it's flat and say it could be a bigger ball. Let's leave that possibility open. This concern is real that it could be turning out to be a ball when I go to Antarctica. These are the representatives of us. The ones that coincidentally went onto Netflix and, oh, interesting, my experiment might be showing it's a ball. All right, okay, so we object to the science acumen and we get told we're scammers. Here we are again with the people saying it could be a big ball. We're true earthers. They're already halfway to leading you away from this topic, and that's their point, if you ask me. Flat Earth Banjo was the one who pointed this out, and Tent wanted me to play it, and I didn't. Sorry if you're listening. But he wanted to point out that that's what he was also saying. This is all going one way. They're softening you up to the ideas that essentially leave you in a neutral outcome. Could be a bigger ball, see too far. They're neutral outcomes that will lead you away from the knowing it's flat. But they're going under the guise of being flat earthers when they say they're Flat Earth Dave. Then it's just it's a bait and switch.
Well, what's interesting is one of the guys there that's kind of follows with it and them. I think it was him that says the non-globe model. He's not even saying it's flat because is he not the same fella that said a few minutes ago, blah blah blah?
Yeah.
Use that turn of phrase. He's picking up all this from listening to those people.
Yep.
They're the people who aren't saying it's flat. They're the people who are saying things like blah, 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 and let's not get into the minutiae. It's all, you know what I mean? Like, and now, Nathan says this a lot, but it's not true. I've been saying for years, it's flat. Since 2015, it's flat. It can't be anything else. Do you know what I mean? It just can't be anything else. It's like, once you go through all the things you need to go through, everything else is ruled out. It's that simple.
Although we have got a lack of Anthony Riley being the cheerleader for this, Brian. I hope you were listening on today's show. I was pushing your ideas as you were bleating about it not being promoted by anybody or anybody taking it seriously. So just with that in mind, I did punt it quite explicitly today on the live show. But I also brought up a new one. Something else that we can start ramping up in terms of what we require. And it's about these models that have got, false dichotomies put in place. Well, they're suggesting that Dave's globe projection is the flat Earth model that they're going to be out there falsifying. Some garbage like that. It's like, well, that's not a flat Earth model. The comparison I made was like saying we're going to race a Ford versus a Chevy, and then what you get is two Chevys on the start line, but one's got a Ford wrap on it. It's like, where's the Ford? Like, well, this is a Ford. No, that's not a Ford. It's a Chevy with a Ford wrap on it. We want a Ford in this race. You're presenting this globe projection and saying that you're giving us a fair crack. That seems pretty fraudulent. I think we're going to have to ramp up the pressure for them to actually produce a flat Earth model. Because that isn't it, that's a globe projection. So they need to give us the pitch data. The pitch data is going to absolutely be required, and if you're going to suggest fraudulently that you're representing us with a globe projection, that's bleeding outrageous. So we need to start piling the pressure on the audience we're talking about. Why are you using a globe projection and claiming it's a flat Earth model, you fraud? Do you need it to both be globe only? The choice is, what an outrage. Yeah, and where's the pitch data for the journey down there? You're talking about dealing with a logistics company. That's what they deal with, right? That's what we're going to need. Because at the moment, you're just assuming that you're travelling antipodal. So we're going to need the pitch data. And why are you doing two globes? Why are you putting a globe against another globe? Globe projection versus a globe model. They've both got the same latitude lines that are measured flat. We'll keep pointing that out. You need flat Earth for both. But you've got a false dichotomy with a globe projection and a globe model. That's not very fair. And where's the pitch data?
Well, yeah, but I agree with asking them for the flat Earth model that they keep talking about. That I would look, hey, where is this flat Earth model? Same way as we asked to see their globe model. Ask them, show us at least one of these two models they're claiming. I would definitely ask them about that. And I'd ask them for the pitch data. I wouldn't be asking them for the pitch data. I mean, I'm trying to get them away from going to this Antarctica thing. I'm trying to give them something that's better than that. That really proves it. But you keep on wanting them to go to Antarctica.
Well, no.
You keep on staying down there as well. It's impossible. They're all going down there.
No, stop a second. You're suggesting that I want them to do that. I couldn't give a toss either way. They want to go to Antarctica, and you're saying, well, if you're doing a journey and you're paying people for the logistic process, then the logistic process is what we want to know about, how you get from A to B for your antipodal assumption. Therefore, that's a justification to ask for the pitch data. If you go, I want the pitch data, but give us a flight that's unrelated to your endeavour, I keep telling you this, but you just won't buy it.
Yeah, because what will happen is if they go there and they don't see a 24-hour sun, there's absolutely no way we're getting the pitch data. If they do go there and they do see a 24-hour sun, they'll hand us the pitch data or something they'll claim to be pitch data, and it won't matter because nobody will hear about it or see it because the whole world will be talking about the 24-hour sun in Antarctica and it's a globe. So no matter what, we won't.
You're worried about.
Beg your
pardon.
pardon.
I know he won't. Just I would want to hold up
the outcome.
I know. 1 second. I know that there's no way that he's going to get the pitch data. I know he's not. But what I want to do is give him the other option of the pitch data, which is, and all the flat earthers agree on it, right? That this proves or disproves it. And then when he won't get it, then who cares what he does in Antarctica because he wouldn't get the pitch data. Whereas opposed to him being able to say, yeah, I'll give him pitch data, but it doesn't matter because it's 24 hours on. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, get the pitch data. And when he won't get it, then we don't have to take anything he says after that serious because he's proven that he's not interested in objective truth.
Ryan, I've got no problem with your pitch data because that would demonstrate the surface the aeroplane is passing over and would be demonstrable if you were interested in the surface you're passing over. I'd just like to point out to you that when we get there, whether we see one sun or two, it's flat, yeah? All we know is, see a 24-hour sun, that we've got two suns. I don't know what all this nonsense is about.
Chinook's, yeah, I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry. Chinook's sun. Actually, you know what? If I'm going to push out Nathan, may as well just push Chinook's sun because that's good enough for me.
I'm with you, Brian.
I've actually got my money on. I've got my money on Caustic Coffee Cup Sun. Actually, that's 3-1. Pretty good odds.
That's just daylight. That's not seeing the sun, because you can't see the sun on a flat Earth with a dome. Yeah, that's why you have to have Caustic Coffee Cup, which is all
exactly.
Yeah.
So is this second sun somehow your way of making it not a dichotomy?
Yes, the sun produces radiation at quite a high degree, regardless of which sun we're talking about. But this is quite a complicated issue that we don't want to get into here. It's very, very complicated.
Side, you don't get people explaining.
No. I want to address that. No, just trying to affirm the consequence of something I've believed all along, Flatsy.
Well, it's
The
already
reason we have this thing that I don't believe in is that we've got two suns. obvious.
I get what you're saying. I was just wondering if it was your attempt at making it not a dichotomy, which it is. It's not even a dichotomy. That would be a false because they're affirming the consequent either way. But I was asking if it was your attempt at it.
I like. Oh, well, I mean, thank you for the backslide there. Yeah.
Well, no, but I think what Adam's trying to
I've not finished. I've not finished. I've done no. Yeah, but is it? Do I destroy the fact that it's a dichotomy and present a equally substantial position that makes it a trichotomy, or do I fail? Am I not just as capable in affirming the consequent as them?
You are, and I'm suggesting that you do, but the affirming the consequent false dichotomy would run as follows. If we travel to the Antarctic region, then we will experience no 24-hour sun on an azimuthal equidistant globe projection. Shock and horror, we don't see a 24-hour sun, therefore it's not the azimuthal equidistant globe projection, or it is the azimuthal equidistant globe projection with its flat Earth measurements. That's the first side of the false dichotomy. The other side of the false dichotomy, obviously that's a flat globe projection that's been used for that side of it, is Chinook sun. You know, if we observe a 24-hour sun, then we confirm that there is two suns rotating that merge and then transpose onto the other side of the plane that you're standing and observing it on. So it's, you know, a globe projection that's flat versus a Chinook helicopter sun that's flat in false dichotomy, with both affirming the consequent. And if, for the sake of argument, we get some neutral outcome because there's too many clouds in the week that they're there, then, you know, I'll just invent coffee cup caustic. That'll do.
Well, my model is the Chinook sun flat Earth model. So if they debunk that, I'll have to come up with a new model.
I mean, you don't need a model. You can use anything. Penguins. Right, if there's a...
I have the Chinook sun, Adam's Chinook sun model, and if they see a second sun, then Adam's correct. And if they don't, we just need a new model.
You're missing the point and the beauty of an affirming the consequent fallacy. The first statement doesn't necessarily follow. The second statement doesn't necessarily follow the first. So if I make it a bit more glaring, when Kiwi said on the other Ballbusters or whatever it was, one of the shows he did, you can affirm the consequent all day long. You can just invent anything. That's the point. So if the Earth is a flat plane, then I will see penguins in Antarctica. Now you go, oh, no, hold on, that's a really obvious disconnect. Yeah? How is that any less non sequitur than if I assume antipodal positioning, then 24-hour sun? No. That's completely non sequitur. There is no connection between this. But the point of the fallacy is to say once you then confirm the suspicions that you will see a 24-hour sun, once you confirm that at this point up for discussion, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Once that bit's been confirmed, eureka, the fallacy is fulfilled. And, oh, we did definitely confirm the Q statement. We did definitely see a 24-hour sun. Then it's a sleight of hand move. You forget that it's non sequitur to the original statement of antipodal positioning.
Yeah. If there's a Chinook sun, then they'll see a second sun over Antarctica, and that's Adam's flat Earth Chinook sun model proven.
No.
If there isn't a second sun over Antarctica, then we need a new model.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not doing it wrong. It's 100% correct.
It's not
correctly wrong. It's correctly wrong. You're not
doing it wrong. Stop.
It's not. It's correctly wrong. It's wrong.
Stop telling me that you are right when I'm trying to correct you. You're just dragging it out for 25 minutes while I'm trying to correct you. The first
no,
thing
you're trying to lecture me on how to be stupid, and I'm telling you, I'm already stupid.
Let me just tell for the audience's benefit. Right, the first statement in this particular affirming the consequent is the model. Now, they've got this set up so you can doubly miss the point by having it in false dichotomy, but we'll just focus on one. If my globe model, then 24-hour sun. 24-hour sun, therefore my globe model. But you can do anything. If my globe model, then penguins, therefore globe model. You can change the model. If my flat model, then 24-hour sun, 24-hour sun, then my flat model. Yeah,
exactly.
You can do anything.
So that's what I said. If there's a second sun, then that means Adam's Chinook sun model is proven. If there isn't, then we need a new model.
Yeah, but you didn't include the 24-hour sun aspect.
Because he's done a baller on you. He's done the switch and bait. Now we're
Switch
talking
and
about
bait.
a second sun. Brian's introduced the concept, right, of second sun. It's now out there. It's fact, right? Now you got to deal with it. Yeah, flatties, ballers.
Yeah, ballers. Debunk Adam's flatter Chinook sun model. That's what I want to see. Yeah, and if they don't see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, then Adam's Chinook sun model is debunked, and we just need a new flat model.
Let me just add one more point to round this out, QE. I know you're hovering on the plate.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just round this out. This has already happened once with the exact same construction of fallacy. Okay? So if Earth is rotating, then we will see deviation in a gyroscope. We see deviation in a gyroscope, therefore Earth is rotating. That was the Netflix affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. So based on historic fact, what happened last time? When everyone's like, we won't see the gyro deviate. Oh no, we saw it deviating. So what do we do? Well, because you can have an infinite number of affirming the consequent fallacies, you can just change the fallacy. So therefore, my suspicion will be, if P then QQ, therefore P. If Earth a sphere by assumption of antipodal positioning, then we will observe 24-hour sun. Let's say they do, for whatever reason, observe 24-hour sun. Therefore, the flat earthers will say, it's a coffee cup caustic sun. Yeah? They just changed the fallacy. They did it last time. Then ether. If Earth rotating, then deviation. Deviation, therefore... Oh, it was actually ether all along. Yeah, you can change the P statement, can't you, in this fallacy? Meaning that it's meaningless. Because if you can just change any of the statements for, oh, it's not Earth rotating, we've decided that the thing that this confirms is actually ether. Yeah, what you're saying, you can just change it. Yes, because it's not science, it's a fallacy.
Yes, sir.
With that in mind, I would just like to point out that as representatives from the Church of the Chinook Suns, I'd also point that out that if we didn't see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, we would make you see the realization that there are two suns still. It's just that one is not manifest.
Okay, that's enough. Here we go.
No, it's not.
We've got this,
that means
this model.
we have a Eurocopter sun.
But as soon as you ask questions, well, you're not allowed to ask questions, really, are you? It's just, this is it, or you're a globe tart. I mean, a flat tart. They call us flat tarts. Maybe they do.
Right. Yeah, people should be free to ask questions, free to travel, and we're doing it. We are asking what I think is maybe the most important question, which is, what does the sun do in Antarctica? And we're going there. And this is going to be exciting. I actually think it'll be historic. So if anybody wants to join us, please consider it. If you want to crowdfund, I'll promote it. We're promoting all crowdfunding on either side. So far, we only have 3 Globers crowd.
Grifting. Come on, boys.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket. Buy a ticket.
You think there's sides here? See, they want to keep the question open. See, the question has already been solved. The bullshit has already been exposed.
The more I watch this, the more it reminds me of 2017, 2018.
You're not presenting your screen, by the way, QE.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. Go ahead, Adam.
Back in the day, it was £100,000 for a ticket to go to the firmament. And there was a guy, Nathan might remember, he came on, and there was a number of the early flat earthers as at Iron Realm, which we were flattered by the fact he decided to choose us to get the message out there, and a number of other people engaged with him, Paul on a plane. The price then was 100,000 to go and do this shit. Now, it seems like a similar grift to me. Selling shit that you can't prove to people. This is exploiting the weak. Something that maybe Pastor Will may have been accused of in the past in terms of these selling of financial products. We got another, there's this level of similarity, and both in terms of flat Earth, how you try and mug flat earthers off, with their genuine inquiry, as we were done, there's a bit of a discount that what Pastor Will's offering. He's not offering the same quality product as Go Meet the Firmament, just a possible 24-hour sun, which I think is his disclaimer, isn't it? Because even though the travel agent wouldn't dare advertise a 24-hour sun, he can't provide it, Will's offering the possibility of deciding whether there's a 24-hour sun, hence he's not a shyster.
Wouldn't the logistics, wouldn't the company that does all the flying, you know, the one that he said, I can't remember the name of it, wouldn't they already know?
Megan.
So, Superchat, super mullet?
Retro Bill sent 2 words: greater sapien.
Yeah, Retro Bill remembers that one. Yes. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Retro Bill.
Me.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Let's not besmirch the work of Greater Sapien. That's what I'm trying to emulate. To try and get people to crowdfund me to go prove the Chinook.
We're gonna drive over there.
It's what?
Yeah.
Say again?
That wasn't
I want to
me.
get the keys.
Ghosts. Even ghosting.
Is Ghost ghosting us?
I think so.
Ghost, are you at your mic? Don't worry, folks. I remember the point that I had. Ghost.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I was muted.
Okay. All right, we're good. So, wouldn't the company that does all these, I'm sure this is not the first and only time they've gone down there. This is, you know, they've been going back and forth, I'm suspecting, for a few years. Wouldn't they know about the 24-hour sun? Wouldn't they know this? They'd
have to. To be kind of something they'd have to know.
Yeah.
Well, Banjo, I don't know if you saw on one of the Flat Earth debates, we played one of Banjo's video. I think it was him that was contacting a travel agent.
Yeah.
Basically saying, I want to go and see the 24-hour sun in the north. Is that possible? And they were like, oh, yeah, we've got packages for that. You know, you can Sunseeker, 24-hour sun package. It's going to cost this. He's like, well, what about Antarctica? Oh, yeah, we've got Antarctic trips too. You can go and see the penguins. He's like, no, what about going and seeing the 24-hour sun in Antarctica? Oh, we don't offer that.
Yeah, I heard that before, but that's a travel agent. This is a company that flies down there. I'm suspecting somewhat consistently. Wouldn't the people that have flown down there many times know?
I would expect so. But they might just be flying in, dropping their stuff, staying for a night. And, you know, obviously, if you're only staying for a night, you need to actually get the rest. So you're not going to see the 24 hours and then you fly back out. There's a possibility that they don't know.
Okay.
With all the excuses in the world.
No, Nathan, no. What did you say?
No.
Drop in for a night. There is no night.
There is no night.
This is ridiculous, man. Come on. This is back to you're back to Athens again, Ian.
Can't drop.
Night. There is no night. Yeah, I was just thinking. I'm just thinking out loud. Wouldn't just call these guys up and say, "Hey, has anyone witnessed this down there?" I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we should just all be very concerned. We know what Joe tells us at the end of the process is what we need to be concerned about.
Okay.
Super potato.
Super potato. Super mustache. Super stupid.
Look at say super chat. Chat.
You, good grief. He was very distracted. Sorry. Roger Ledwell sent, hell no, just me being the soundboard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Roger.
Crowdfunding, but would love to see some flat earthers do it as well.
Yeah, wow. I mean, and so did you tell us the price before? What was the price?
31,500.
31,500. And I suppose that's US dollars as well. So that's like $500,000 Australian.
So $31,000 a poke, and he's gonna. It's so confusing now. I'm sure they'll iron this out, but he is sponsoring 2 people: one a flat earther and one a globetard. I don't know whether he's going or not. Whether there's, I've heard that Hanoi Jaron and Witless is going. I've heard a number of different things, but I don't think Is there a scam in here? He's sponsoring these guys. Is the scam the crowdfunding part, Adam? Is that what you were saying? Where's the scam?
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
suggesting- Well, I listened to what Adam said earlier, and his suggestion was that, you know, getting other people to invest alongside them. So look, we've got these celebrities that are going down, and if you want to go, it's 31 grand. Maybe that's where the scam lies. That's what Adam was suggesting earlier.
Okay.
Well, I think
yeah.
it could be that. I think that it could be that he's already gone and knows whether there is or isn't a 24-hour Antarctic sun, and someone is going to put a big bet on, but that someone will secretly be him.
Oh goodness, that's
because he already knows.
You conspiratard.
Well, the stranger things have happened.
I think you were right originally when you're like, you know, he's got caught out doing something dodgy with a load of investors, and then they took him down, stripped one trouser leg, bandaged his eyes, made him run the gauntlet. He gave the allegiance to the Masons, and now here we are. I mean, it's all very clear to me.
Yeah, thanks.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. Here we go.
Right. Okay. So if people are interested in looking into it and like really, you know, they want to go, what do they do? Do they contact you? How
Yeah.
what's the process?
So our website, if you could link to it, that would help because it's got some dashes in it. It's thefinalexperiment.com with dashes. The-final-experiment.com. Our website has a ton of great information. It's got a countdown timer for when we get to Antarctica. It's got a list of the 24 flat earthers and 24 globe earthers that we invited. It's got a link to all of the interviews that I do. This one will be on there. It's got FAQs, and then it's got a contact us button, which you can reach me directly. When you use that, I will reply. I reply to 100% of the people who contact me. Then you'll have my email. So then you can email me back and forth. Someone in the comments section tonight, Critical Think.
Sorry, you respond to 100% of the people who contact you. You proactively contacted me, and my response was to ask you for your hypothesis. And your community is well aware of it. Was Wally formulated one that Dave McKeegan publicised? So again, just another example of him being a liar. Where's the hypothesis, if that's the case, if you're saying you respond? You proactively contacted me, Dumbo. Oh, does that mean you're not technically lying? Oh, yeah, well, when I proactively contact somebody, I don't have to respond to their response. Not lying. This guy's a scumbag. Give me your hypothesis. Your whole community knows we've asked you for it.
Yep.
Just to point out,
Is that his web?
Hold on a second, Adam. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I'm just saying, did he say that's his website?
I think
Contact
that's
us.
what he said.
Right, that's good, because I can go there then and ask him to review my video and give me a response on it.
Yes.
So we can all know. Yeah, because I couldn't find any contact for him. Thank you.
Well, you got it right. Do you want me to go back? Do you need the link?
I don't think that.
No, I'll be able to find it. One of the borders.
DD already posted it in the live chat.
All right, thanks.
It's the-final-experiment.com.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Adam.
I just pressed.
He's actually going with us to Antarctica this December for the final experiment,
good evening.
which is exciting. He just commented.
Did somebody
Stop the show, everybody! Stop. Huey, pause.
D Rose is here.
D Rose has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, D Rose is in the building.
I'll kill him.
Hello. What up, y'all?
The sky.
Are we not going to discuss about somebody posting something about Mr. Debate? That was interesting.
What did they
Even
post
though it
about?
doesn't-
What was it?
About
Tell
Eric
us.
Debate. Yeah, Eric Debate. It's in the Master B about Eric Debate being a CIA agent and a shill, proving that he's been lying for the longest about his background, and everything that everybody called him to be a shill has been exposed to be the truth, because once a liar, always a liar. and there's a lot of things that's been revealed about him that he's been lying about. But
No
at the end of
freaking
the
way.
day,
Hold on, D. Sorry, D. Okay, so do you remember about a week ago me saying, is it just me or is history repeating itself? So about 10 years ago, there was a whole expose on Eric Dubay being a CIA Freemason shill. And one of the guys who publicised it was a guy called Paul Michael Bales. Now, in the last 6 months, Paul Michael Bales has come out of the woodwork releasing some music that he produces. Maybe just a coincidence. But now we've got this resurgence of Eric Dubay's a CIA shill with that whole backstory attached to it. Oh my God. History's just repeating itself from 10 years ago. This is nuts.
Yep. But at the end of the day, like I commented on there, it does not disprove a spherical, spinning, globular Earth, nor does it prove a flat Earth. So it's another distracting, feast of nonsense, speculative, who gives a damn whether he eats children and is a CIA agent that walks around with his hand up Biden's butt. Who cares? The fact of the matter is another distracting thing to keep people's attention away from the navigable, measurable, and observable evidence and proven fact that we live on a flat Earth. That's how I look.
Yes, absolutely, D. It's just a distraction. Yes, I'm glad you got to the point I would want you to get to. Yes, absolutely.
All right, can we continue? Thanks.
Section tonight, Critical Think. He's actually going with us to Antarctica this December for the final experiment, which is exciting.
Ka-ching!
He just commented as well, which is
Critical Think is going. That's an oxymoron.
Exciting.
Ka-ching!
So yeah, this.
Oh, there it is.
£31,000. There's 31 grand that he isn't paying, is he?
This is, there we go. Yeah, there's the website, and then
so if the flat dudes drop out, how many have to drop out before we're in contention?
And talking,
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm getting that empty silence again.
I'm gonna kill you.
Well, while you are on pause, check it out. Right, on his front page, on the left, you've got globe Earth participants, and on the right, you've got flat Earth participants, and on the right, you've got globe Earth participants. Check out what's representing a flat Earth.
Yeah.
The flat Earth is being boiled down to an ice rink. That's all this boils down to. Meanwhile, what is hidden in their representation of the Antarctic island? Well, where's the globe? Where's the antipodal assumption? Well, it's not even shown. So it's ice wall versus ice island. That's all it boils down to. It's pathetic.
I'm on the website that they're at now. I think the numbers are the same. It's interesting, this final experiment, who's representing it, who's taking sides in this dichotomy. I know we're critiquing it. We've got on the participants, you've got 2 and 7. On the flat Earth side, official entry, i.e., is officially entered but not definitely going, is Jeranism, and Kingdom in Context, Sean Griffin. Both official entries. That's the 2. None have definitely gone, not paid for. On the globe side, you've got Dave Triangles McKeegan, who's apparently Antarctica bound. He's paid for. And the rest, Fight the Flat Earth, McToon, Wolfie 6020, Creaky, as of Creaky Blind, Globy McGlobeface, and Where's Wally?
Oh God!
The point I'm making here, these are the participants. These are the people that are driving this. Flat Earth's laughing at it. Now, the other thing I want to highlight is on interviews, people that have been mugged off enough to say, "Oh, would you come and do an interview? You might get a free ticket." And now they're on the website. So on the globe side, Fight the Flat Earth, Veritas, Matters Now, Hugh Jaws, My Mum Bakes Cakes, Critical Think, Anom, EO Gramblings, Peter Markley, Zaroos, What Cat's It, Justin Peter Swaller, Mike Over IP, Helios, Pastor Joel Strober, Truth Army, the Texas Boys. That's on the globe side, which is kind of inconsequential. I just wanted to read you the people that have bothered to engage with this guy on the Flat Earth side. Conspiracy Cos, never heard of, but yeah. Our friend Jaron Campanella. S.S. Young, Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Never heard of. Anaki Keita, who I have heard of. Again, somebody that's more into overall conspiracies, and Flat Earth's one of those. Kingdom in Context, as mentioned. Voice of Freedom. Here's the good stuff. Ev, Try Thinking. He's there. He's got an interview on this site, guys, just so you know. In case you were ever in doubt where and what Ev's paymaster is. Awake Souls. Another fantastic one that we've all had to suffer in the past as they emerged into our community. And now, apparently, this is a definitive thing for them. David Stanley, Josh Monday, and Disorganized Productions. Look at the names there. Yeah, they're either nobodies you'd never heard of.
Sorry, just for context, what are those names? What list was that? What does that mean?
That last list with the people that sit on having provided interviews for the Final Experiment website on behalf of the Flat Earth and why this is valid and what it's going to prove. So I'm assuming I've not.
Hold on.
I'd be interested in hearing what
No, hold on. Just need some context. Right. You're suggesting that list is somebody who has suggested that this is a valid, worthwhile endeavour for Flat Earth. And the list includes Awake Souls, correct?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm stating the people that have bothered to engage in this project. Now, I listed the Ball Earth stuff. But listen to the names. Most of them, as I said, are people you may or may not.
I think I've got it. Right. What I disagree with is the way that Will Duffy is presenting what that means in terms of its representation because they're on that list. Exactly. Now, I only know this because I happen to, just by chance, keep a tab on Awake Souls. Not something I'd normally admit to. But I know their position on this. It's vehemently against in all regards. I can tell you that straight off the cuff. So if they've been put onto a list that suggests that they're for this endeavour, based on their engagement that suggests, as Flat Earthers, we endorse this, that's a misrepresentation. Now, I typically wouldn't have any reason to note that I just so happen to keep occasional eye on Awake Souls. But in this particular instance, I have, and I know their position. That is not it. So therefore, I can extrapolate the fact that Will Duffy's utilising perhaps contact with an individual and just popping them straight on this list to say, yep, this person's behind this endeavour. Well, I know they're not. So why are they on that list? Because they potentially contacted him, maybe, and ended up on a list? Well, there you go. That's my 2 penny worth.
You're not on there, are you?
Well, I've responded to him proactively contacting me and asking for a hypothesis. That's all I've done, as far as I'm aware.
Yes or no? You're not on there, are you?
I have no idea. I've never been to the website. I might be.
You're not.
I don't know.
No. And if I said to you, Nathan, you're on there, what would you be happy about that?
Well, I'd want to know what the list represented really clearly, because if he was suggesting that I'm on that list because I endorse the endeavour as a Flat Earther, I'd be outraged.
Right.
Now,
so
just by chance, I know that. Just let me finish. Just by chance, I know that would be the position if Awake Souls was made aware of the context that Will Duffy is using him in this list.
That's the implication. This is the people on the Flat Earth side. This is the people on the globe side that have put their name behind the Final Experiment. This is the point of the website. Go to the... Yeah, I'm not making false accusations. That's what's portrayed in front of me as I scroll through the website.
Yeah,
So
I get that. I'm not suggesting you're misrepresenting what you're seeing on screen. I'm saying I know, based on my understanding of Awake Soul's position, that what you have described the categorization on this website as being is inaccurate based on my understanding of another, let's just say for the sake of this discussion, fellow Flat Earther and their position. Now, you happen to gear this up with what we've had to endure from these two tossers, or whatever you said. Now, I'm not going to decry or endorse them in any way. I'm just saying I happen to know their position when it comes to this. They're staunchly, both of them, there's two. I've forgotten the names. Maybe you can remind me. Their names. I've interviewed both of these guys.
All right.
Anyway, it's not relevant.
I got the website up. Can you see it?
Yeah, I could see it the whole time. It just I couldn't see the list Adam was reading from.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. Oh, it just told off on it, Adam. So you go to participants.
Yeah.
Right. So on the flat Earth, see, it just says the participants. Yeah. Jeranism, Kingdom in Context, Flat Earth Team, whoever that is, McKeegan, FTV, all these knuckle draggers. Okay. Official entry. What is this? I don't know what this means.
Right. What it means is who's got a ticket paid for. So who's applied to go, Jeren and Kingdom of Context on the flat Earth side. Who's applied on this side as listed. Who's Antarctica bound, what I assume ticket booked and paid for, as Dave's described on Nathan's show this week. He's booked and bound unless he decides to give it to Witsit, whatever it, But that says it there. Nobody's going bar Dave. One ticket sold, paid for by Pastor, that he may have to give up to somebody else, based on how the grift goes.
So where did you get the other? Hold on a second. Where did you get the other names?
Right, now click on interviews. Now there's your people that have ascribed to this channel. Now, the reason I asked, we've talked about it. We're not on here. Now, why? Because we're not supporting any of that. Now, you'd have to listen. I've clicked on Bev Try Thinking. It's a 3-hour Bev Fest. I don't know where within there it's relevant, and I assume the rest of the clicks are. But these are people that are involved in the project, not testimonies unsolicited, which is the best you could describe if these are just random people that have mentioned the project and put in there, and we're not in there. Yeah. So actually look at it again. They're people that are on board with this. They have some kind of opinion that this might prove something. And Naki Keita, for example, yeah, like I said, he's a bit like the Australian guy, autodidactic. Yeah, he's a guy that is into all sorts of conspiracy, particularly alternative history kind of stuff, bit of spiritual this, that, and the other, of which flat Earth is a very minor part. It's not his focus. Yeah, Naki Keita, yeah. So that's why he's there. Oh, I'll be interested in that. I bet you are, mate, because he's not got the standards of a flat earther, because he's not a flat earther. He's just a alternative conspiracy guy who's fine. There's nothing against him, but he's not a flat earther. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm understanding. I'm just wanting to make sure that your list is meaningful. Hold on. I'm not done yet.
In my opinion, once I've learned
Shut him up.
He's not a flat earther. He's a conspiracy
Okay,
theorist.
no, I'm done with it.
Who's been involved in it.
Hey, we're having a conversation.
He's muted.
Yeah.
Now, stop. I don't know what's going on. Number one, D Rose, you better get your act together, right? You come in and interrupt this show, second time now. You can't hear me, and you can't hear the video, and you drive us down an incoherent train. That will not happen again. Do you understand? You will by tomorrow. Number two, are these people, obviously, you just said that Nachit, whatever, Nachika, not going to work here anymore. He's not even a flat earther, right? So, but he on here is part of the flat earth team. So are all the rest of these. So these are the flat earth team. Now, the question is there appearance here supporting the so-called experiment, or are these just people that ran an ad for him? Follow?
Yeah, that's exactly my point. It was positioned by Adam as though this list was suggestive that they were endorsing it. Well, it's just a list of people that it suggests about interviews about it. So my objection doesn't stand. Makes no difference what Awake Soul's position on it. If he's interviewed him on it, he's interviewed him on it, therefore he's on the list, categorised as a flat earther. Same for Bev. Bev wouldn't want to be on this list simply categorised as a flat earther, but he is, and I don't think it really matters. It's not a globe head. So therefore he's on this side of the list. So you can.
They're putting him on that list to annoy him. It's the baller saying, you have to put Bev on the list of flat earthers. It's purely just to annoy Bev. Bev doesn't claim to be a flat earther.
It's not that.
He says the opposite.
It's the impact of the normie.
Superfluid, super stupid, superstition.
Roger Lidwell sent. All we need is Mr. Sensible.
Yep, that's all they need on it. Well, a couple more, but yeah, I got you. So
Actually, that's a good point. I have heard nothing from Mr. Sensible for some while, and I haven't heard much about him concerning this. I thought he'd be everywhere. What's going on there?
Can you unmute D Rose and actually let him make his point now?
You kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. His crime wasn't so egregious just because he talked through you.
He's coming in and disrupting the show, Nathan. For God's sake!
He's just trying to make a point.
He can't hear me, Nathan. He can't see the video that we're going over. He just comes in randomly, right? You know what? Let me do that to you tomorrow. I'll just come in randomly and just talk right over you. Whatever you're doing, doesn't matter. I'll just keep doing it day after day. Yeah? How'd you like that?
There was the point, Nathan. That's why I wasn't actually welcoming D-Rose. He's done that the past couple of weeks. Complete disregard for what's going off in the show. That's why I sarcastically made ladies and gentlemen, yeah?
So, I don't know. He can't see the video, and he can't hear me speak. Second time.
Is he not putting on the stream? Does he know to do that?
I have no idea. Somebody needs to get with him.
Neil, if you're sat here and for 30% of the time there's total silence, at what point do you think you're going to interject with a pertinent point?
Well, because it happened to me. I was lost until I realized you got to put on the stream.
I mean, you roboted perfectly there.
Yeah,
You couldn't have scripted that better.
Seven mute him immediately, QE. Seven mute him.
I don't know what's going on. I'm home. I shouldn't be roboting now.
You're back now. Just literally in that first bit, robot.
Anyway, I think we've segued enough. Can we start the video for like 15, 20 seconds just to get us back in a roll?
Please.
For this place.
Unfortunately, 24.
All of them have to drop out. Damn.
Only Flat Earth Dave has officially said no. No one else has said no yet.
Flat Earth Dave's not going.
No, he's been saying for years he is willing to go to Antarctica, would fly to Antarctica. He said that Antarctica would settle the debate in 24 hours, but yeah, he's not going, unfortunately.
He's not going.
No, why?
Jeez, Dave, what are you doing?
Is he anyone with anything to lose? He's the one punting the globe projection as a flat Earth model in his app. He's got something to lose.
No. Jews don't like the cold.
Well, if you guys didn't raise 6...
Are you serious? He's saying because he's Jewish, he doesn't like the cold.
He's more Christian than a Christian. I'm not saying he's Jewish.
No, he's more Christian than the Bible bashing Christians.
No, not the Bible bashing. He's He's more Christian than the Bible thumpers, not bashers. Get it right.
Do you think that makes you a Christian? Is that a statement that you're a Christian?
That's what he said.
Why are we focused on? Why are we focused on that?
Is that a definitive statement, Huey? Is the point I'm making? It's okay to use the words to say you're a Christian that might imply you or allow people to imply, but they're not if you listen to the words. I don't know what Dave is. All I know from his words is more Christian than a Bible thumping Christian.
Correct.
Well, I think what Adam's saying is right. He's a Jew and he's saying he's more Christian than Christians. It's equivalent as to me saying as a Christian, I'm more Muslim than those Quran reading Muslims. That's the equivalent.
Correct.
I'm not making an indictment here. It's an understanding. I'm not saying he's a Jew. I understood he was a Jew from his interactions with that bear dude. What's his name?
Bear Grylls.
Owen Benjamin, yeah. So he would make allusion to his Jewish heritage. So I've assumed that he didn't never object to that. He kind of went along with the understanding that he was the butt of the joke because he was the Jew. I've
Okay.
always understood Dave to be a Jew. It wasn't like
Okay,
to
what's
make
the
me
significance?
being sarcastic, pointing out
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
people
Where
speak. But when given the opportunity, I like to do so. It doesn't then need for me to call it out after I've done a good job bringing out the double
Can we move
speak.
on?
What? That's the point that Dave the Jew
$60,000 in-
claims he's better than a Christian than you Bible thumping Christians. That point.
the chat, right? Me and Campbell will go.
Cool.
Or
There
the
you
other
go.
option is assassinate the people on the list.
And we'll take their
Just saying.
places.
Yeah, if all of them go missing, we'll be like Johnny
Louis,
English, you know.
Louis, I'm sorry. I'm going to need a J. I was over talking myself there, and I didn't hear. What's he alluding to in terms of assassination? Is he? What are these the top people?
This is
he
mooch.
just said,
Play on, spin on.
Yeah,
No.
right. Me and Campbell will go.
Cool.
Or
There
the
you
other
go.
option is assassinate the people on the list.
And we'll take their
Just saying.
places.
Yeah,
I like
if
it.
all of them go missing, we'll be like Johnny English, you know, the only option.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
I
You
mean,
see, Daft Lad.
yeah.
Or that right. So, Daft Lad, invoke a false trichotomy or quadchotomy or whatever it's called. Yeah, he thinks the only way to get on that boat is to assassinate the people that are part of the dichotomy. No, just invent your own bullshit.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome to go. Like, I just really want to see what's down there, because this is the thing, we don't know what this realm actually is, right? Like, we're basically contained in an area that we're not really, allowed to leave, and we're not even allowed to explore it really. Like, there's so many out of bounds places in Australia. Like, we've got, like, I don't know, I think it's larger than Texas, the amount of land that you're not allowed to go in. And there's just one of them is bigger than the UK, this big train, and you're just not allowed in there for some reason. It's out in the middle of the desert somewhere. So we really don't know what this, this realm is, or I mean, God, after the last 4 years, we don't know what's going on, right? Like, seriously, it's very crazy. So, I mean, I think it's time that we brought back exploring. We all got brought up on these tales of explorers and Indiana Jones and all this stuff, but where are the explorers? Like we don't have them. So
just pause a sec. This is the grift, right? It's bugging me. It's been bugging me why these guys are on here. Why is this guy here? He's going around all the conspiratard community, because these guys aren't flat earthers. Like I said, it might be something they agree with, even though they couldn't back up as to why. Because it's not part of where they do their YouTubing. Campbell's not doing flat earth stuff. Ancient Historia's not. They're doing exactly what he's described about these hidden areas, this funky maps, all this. Why is this shyster grifting with them?
I'll tell you why. Because if you've got the entire group of people who have a tacit acceptance of flat Earth, alternatively a flat Earth belief, that they're not that attached to, because it's just something that they do alongside a whole bunch of other stuff, then it means that their tacit acceptance can be easily severed. So they can sever a whole group of people, just like Tiger Dan did. Do you remember? There was 150,000 people who were going along with flat Earth as a sideline, based on what Tiger Dan told them. And then he disappeared, and a whole group of people that were vaguely interested in this subject, enough to perhaps move on to do a bit more research and confirm what they had as a belief at the time, they didn't. They just moved on with life and carried on believing they were on a ball when Tiger Dan told them. This is happening again. All those people with a tacit acceptance and flat Earth belief can be severed easily when their guru, Jaron or Dave, says, "Oh well, maybe it's a bigger ball after all," or something like that.
And that's the point, Nathan. Yeah. So both of these YouTubers and their main income will not be affected by whether it's a ball or flat. Yeah. That's not what they do. They look at history and hidden history, both of them in different nuances. But yeah. So they've got no money in the game, if you see what I mean. Frankly, from their worldview, it's like I say, it's a point of nuance that I think if you listen to them, both of them are probably flat, aren't they? If you were to ask them to put some money on it, but they'd be happy for him to go to Antarctica because they don't give a shit really and not that interested. They're happy for him to go to Antarctica, see if there's a 24-hour sun to settle whether it's a ball or flat, and they can carry on with their Historia and Tartarian stuff.
Exactly. So, in other words, he's going to the people that don't know it's flat, because the people who know it's flat will offer up argumentation or point out fallacy. People with a tacit acceptance can be bought either way, depending on the outcome, and like you say, they're unaffected. So they'll toddle along and want to assassinate the people on the list for a free trip to Antarctica because it's not the be-all and end-all of their world. So we, on the other hand, are on the outside edge of the other extreme because we know it proves nothing. We can prove the fallacy that's being employed.
Hello, quick.
Super chat. Actually, I missed one of Roger's, and I'm so sorry, Roger. I didn't mean to miss that. He sent, I still haven't got his emails. And then Original D Rose sent, didn't intend to disrupt it. Audio issues, my end. Fixed now. Jaren, we all know LW isn't a flat earther either. Mere conspiracy theorist that dabs in FE forms larger sub count in FE. Hashtag scammer fraud.
Who's LE?
No, it was LW. I don't know.
That was just a slip of the fingers on the keyboard.
All right, I took D Rose off so we can change the topic again. Can you hear me?
He's talking to you, D Rose. Did you hear QE address you?
No, I was just answering. LW was a slip of the
boy.
fingers. It was a typo.
Okay, let's make it simple.
But I can't hear
Original
QE.
D
That's what I'm saying.
Rose.
The sound, even when I go in stream or when I go out of stream, it's silence and it sounds like nothing. So I don't know when.
Right, D. In which case, then, your problem, wait till the show's ended.
Yeah, because you're going to end up talking over QE and he'll get really angry with you because you can't hear him talking. Anyway, let's play on. Are you sharing your screen with the audience, QE? Just double check.
What wasn't real, dude?
I don't think so, mate.
You're killing my dreams.
Yeah,
But
like,
I've been reading exploring.
maybe the whole, Nazi face melting off with the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Maybe that's based in some truth somewhere. In fact, don't they say that the Nazis are in Antarctica? So what will you do
They
if
do,
the sun
man.
is 24 hours, but you see a little
New
Nazi
Schwaberland.
UFO fly past? You know,
Well, this is
like
the
a
thing. That
swastika
there's
on a
reports
UFO.
from Admiral.
Now we're headed off into Never Land.
No. See where these guys' knowledge base is. Do you understand how they're lit up there, both of them?
Sure.
Where is their knowledge? It's not in flat Earth.
Super
Go
chat.
on the ball.
Adam, put a cork
You're
in
not
it.
Also, you're not sharing your video stream. You're sharing the website still.
In Discord?
On YouTube.
Hold
on
on
YouTube.
a second. No, YouTube's good.
I'm looking at it right now, and it's showing the.
Share your screen.
I guess. But Roger Lidwell sent Dave is Mr. Indecisives, and I bought his app.
While there's a gap, can I just say subscribe to Nathan Oakley 1980 and Nathan Oakley respectively?
Thank you. Thanks for the super chat, guys. It should be sharing on YouTube.
Admiral Byrd took a fleet down there, and the reports are they got attacked by UFOs, these flying discs, right? And then there's all the stories of New Schwaberland and those people. Not I can mention who they were.
That he even has his conspiracies wrong.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. This is what lights them up. Do you understand? This is their knowledge base. This is what they're dealing in. This is what their YouTube channels are about. New Schwabenland. Now, we can critique him on that, but that's not the point I'm making. Yeah, look at where his knowledge base is. He's not a flat earther. That's the only point I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a point to make.
Go ahead.
Sorry. There's all this nonsense going on now, right, about this final experiment thing. And it's taking up loads and loads of flat earthers' time and loads of their attention. And what the ballers were looking for is already happening. Because all the focus is going on to this thing. And what is it? It's a thing where these people go to Antarctica and if they observe what they want to observe, then they'll be screaming it's a globe, even though that doesn't prove it's a globe. Now, nothing to do with me. I don't care that it's me, but we have observations of the full moon. That's an observation of the celestial bodies in the daytime, right? Two videos from 2 different times of last year. Both of them debunk the heliocentric paradigm. Both of them, or any one of them, completely debunk it. There is a celestial observation that debunks the heliocentric paradigm. None of them, and including the flat earthers, are paid any attention. But they're going to all pay attention to this heap of rubbish that doesn't mean anything.
Brian, you know why? Because you can't sell a trip to Waterford for $31,000, mate.
I know, yeah, that's going to be tricky. That's the thing. I can't make a grift out of it. Nobody's interested.
Well, let's see the totality of the grift. That's what I'm waiting for.
Around the world collecting relics and things, and they were also up at Greenland, I think, up in the north, and like there was a lot of money and effort put into that. So I think, well, I just don't think we know what's going on. And I think I'm up for exploring, man, wherever it be, right? I was just in Bosnia and Croatia and a few places, and just
shout out to the homeboys.
Just walking around those places, just out in the middle of nowhere, you just find these old megalithic ruins and stuff. Like there's so much here that we don't know about. So I'm up for exploring wherever it is, basically wherever.
What is this incoherent drivel?
He just called you Croatians, and by association yourself, you're all Tartarians.
This is just incoherent drivel. There's no direction. That's a nothing burger you just said.
Where they don't want us to go, man, is where I think we should go.
Someone in the comments. Oh, sorry.
I've always wanted to go to Area 51 since I was a kid.
Oh boy.
So if we could explore anywhere, that would be my first pick.
Perfect. Pause. So if we go to Area 51 and there's a flying saucer, then aliens and other worlds do exist. If we go there and there isn't anything other than an old, rather nice looking Jeep, then aliens don't exist and there aren't other worlds. That's the dichotomy. That's just the same level of proof.
Yep.
The same shit.
Yep.
No, it's called an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If P, we have aliens, then Q, we will find craft at Area 51. We found the craft at Area 51, therefore there must be aliens. No, it's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. Like, if we have Earth rotation, we'll see gyro deviation. We see gyro deviation, therefore it's ether. Yeah, you can change it for anything you like.
Yep. That's the magic.
They're not aliens, are they?
That's the magic. That's the magic of the affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy.
Yeah, 4Jax, we just went through that with him, so you have to rewind and watch it. But
yes,
go back and watch it.
I was also going to bring up the one that says it sounds like a Titanic.
Well, Duff, how many models do you know of? Are you saying there is only 2 possibilities because of a 24-hour sun? Squirrel?
Yes! Get in there, Squirrel Sniper! He knows about the church, I think.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah. Good job, Squirrel Sniper. Like the Avatar, too.
Vacation. You're not going to crash the plane on us, are you?
Oh, that is. Sounds like a Titanic vacation. Oh my god. We're going to reset the Fed, man. That's what we're going to do.
But Campbell, you made a good point about people not freely being able to travel. I mean,
Pause. That's part of the ego trip, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're on some Titanic trip because we'll be on this thing and it'll destroy the world. We'll go down there and whatever we see, it will reset. It'll create a new paradigm.
Down.
That's like the retard flat earther of 2015. I'm just going to tell everyone, and everyone will really see the truth, man.
With your open-toed sandals and really bad breath.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look,
most
take me out,
people's
man. They're just
best
gonna
opportunity to
take
even
me
go
out.
to Antarctica would be if Jeff Bezos built an Amazon factory there. So, to get this kind of thing, like say 30.
Jeff Bezos built an Amazon factory there. What on earth are you talking about, son?
But think about it from a globe point of view. What a great distribution center Antarctica would be.
$1,000, even for most of this popular YouTubers, I'm sure they won't have that line around. That's financial investment money.
Yeah.
So
it's a fair whack, but I mean, yeah, if we can crowdfund, there's things we could do.
I suppose you can write it off as a tax thing, can't you, for work, at least on one side?
Completely, man. It's completely if you pay tax, that is. That's illegal, that stuff, man. Come on.
Yeah, no lawsuits around here.
No.
We're going to get to some
They've
cowbell.
realised it grift, haven't they? They've triggered it's a grift, and they're trying to get in on the grift.
Yeah, we're still trying to discover what the exact grift is. It'll show itself.
They don't know. They don't care, but they're thinking, I should be in on this.
It's going to show itself.
Yeah, and I was going to say on the lawsuit thing, I mean...
Back to the lawsuit. We want to put up with this or skip past this?
I think it's wholly pertinent because there's the potential of me spending $31,000 if there's a question of credibility or integrity, particularly if this is a secondary sell-on for a ticket. It's a bit like me buying a ticket for the cup final, not from like the actual stadium, from a bloke that's bought it from the stadium. How much is he making? Why is he making it? Is the ticket work? Could I not just buy the ticket myself?
Right. That's what I was just going to say. That has anyone called them and found out what the price of a ticket to go down there is? And what?
I think I had a number of issues I was going to ring them on. This is adding to the list of questions that I will have.
Okay.
When I ring them.
Yeah, all the accoutrements too. So you have it all inclusive, so you're not missing anything. The flight. Where do we have to go first, and then the flight, and then where you're going to drop us off, and what is the final amount? No hotels or anything, just there. It's just a ticket, from what I'm thinking. I don't know.
So I'm after dropping in here kind of late. What exactly is it we're watching? Like, what are they?
Right. Are you interested in proving whether the Earth is flat or a globe?
Look, I'm pretty solidly in the globe Earth camp, but I'm always open to hearing what anybody has to say about it.
Just 31,000 of your US dollars, right? I can take you to Antarctica, where you may or may not see a 24-hour sun. Now, I would, as a disclaimer, I have to point out to you that the travel agent themselves only sell 24-hour sun in the north. They don't sell this package in the south. But just, as I said, just 31,000 of your US dollars. I can take you there, and the question will be solved definitively. Are you on board? Are you interested?
No, honestly, going to the northern wilderness of Sweden would be a lot cheaper, and it would prove almost the exact same thing.
Well, what would that be?
Well, that the sun stays. I could go to Alaska, and I could see the same thing, which is a sun that almost, excuse me, a sun that almost never sets.
And what does that prove?
Well, proves that I'd say it proves the Earth is round pretty concretely.
How?
Well, not so much pretty
why?
concretely, but it would be another factor to prove that the Earth is round.
Why?
Well,
why would that be a distinguishment as to?
Hold on, Adam. Just let him answer. He's going to answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Why?
I'm just
Why?
looking for a nuance. Nathan, I'm fine. Okay.
Because you've got if you've got a ball and you shine a light at it, and it's tilted towards, because the Earth is tilted. We're not like the equator isn't always perfectly centrally where the sun hits, like where the center of the sun's beam hits the Earth. We're tilted. That's why we have seasons.
Do you mean within a heliocentric paradigm?
It's begging the question.
That again, this is the point. So let me just bring you back to the question. You said, and I think respectfully, by your claim, you don't understand why Pastor Will Duffy wants to go to the south. Everybody, whether they think they're on a ball or flat, know that there's a 24-hour sun in the north. It's not a proof of toffee, right? But by going to the south, Pastor Will thinks that this determinant will prove flat or globe. Now, you've gone away from that, and you're saying the simple fact that we have a 24-hour sun in the north proves it's a ball. Would you just
I didn't say proves it's a ball. I said adds the evidence it was a ball. I was gonna say proves, but then I corrected myself.
That's the point. Okay, so why is that evidence that it's a ball per se? Why is it not just admissible for either model? Why is it specifically evidence for a ball? That's the nuance.
Well, what allows it to work on a flat Earth? If the Earth was to be flat,
you told me. You're saying it's evidence for a ball. So tell me why.
Yes. And I'm telling you, if you have a ball that's tilted slightly towards the sun at the top, and you spin it, you have a 24-hour day-night cycle everywhere except for up at the north, where there is almost full coverage of the sun 24 hours a day for about half the year, until the Earth going around the sun turns it away, where it ends up being almost entirely nighttime.
So can I just
you can replicate.
Stop a second.
You have a show.
Summarize his point. I'm trying to understand his point. You're saying that if the Earth's a ball, we'll observe a 24-hour sun, and we do observe a 24-hour sun. Therefore, it's obviously a ball, right?
I'm saying the fact that we can replicate that 24-hour presence of light on a ball on a smaller scale here on Earth adds to the evidence that the Earth itself is a globe.
So that would be a yes. If Earth's a ball, then we'll be able to replicate this 24-hour sun on a ball model. Therefore, we can represent it in reality. Therefore, it matches the ball model. Therefore, Earth's a ball. That's what I just said. So yes, then, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm not saying it definitively proves it, but the fact that we can prove it on a ball indicates that it's more than likely a ball. Because what I'm saying is, can you replicate?
Stop. Just need to agree. So you're saying if it's a ball, we'll experience 24-hour sun, and lo and behold, we do experience 24-hour sun, just like we would on a ball model. You just need to say, yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Rather than starting asking me something, just say, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it is what you're saying. You've said it 3 different ways now. So can you just agree that that's what you're saying? Because it is what you're saying.
Oh, he's just given the admission by saying it's more than likely, therefore denying his claim earlier that it was an evidence for. He's just made the point in his admission there. It's more than likely. Therefore, not an evidence, just a probability, which is, i.e., it's admissible on both models. Therefore, not commensurate with your statement previously that it's an evidence.
Oh, well, I said it adds to the evidence. And once
No,
again,
no, no. The
I'll
evidence.
ask. You're saying it's permissible on both models, so I'm asking because I can show on a ball model how a 24-hour sun happens. I'm asking, can you show on a disk how it
Adds
happens?
to the evidence. Adds to the evidence. How does it add?
Yes.
Does it add a bit of weight, or does it even itself furnish a proof? Does it furnish a proof?
Does it furnish a it could be
Let's just
considered.
get this clear. Let's just get this clear so you can't cock up your answer. Does a 24-hour sun in the north prove that the Earth is a globe?
Not on its own.
No. So your previous statement that it did is now false. Can we move on? I don't want to humiliate you, because can we just move on? That a 24-hour sun in the north doesn't prove a globe. It's not a proof. It's not something that adds to the weight of evidence, is it?
I'd say it does.
You would, even though I've just demonstrated and you've admitted that it isn't. Okay, so let's
I
move
didn't
on.
say that it
I
isn't.
think we're done. No, this is where, when you prove you're a retard, you're done. Okay.
No, because you keep asking me to put it in your words. I don't want to put it in your words because I can't trust your words.
You prove you're disingenuous by your own words, so you're done.
Sure, but just to summarise, though, he was just formulating a fallacy, which is if we see 24-hour sun, then that proves that it's like the ball model I can replicate it on. And we do see 24-hour sun, and therefore it must be the ball model that I can replicate it on. It's not proof, but it lends to the credence of the evidence that I'm using as proof. Yeah, that little mitigation is crap, but it's still affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. Textbook. He reformulated it 3 different ways. Yeah? And when push comes to shove, he won't stand next to it being a proof. That's because it isn't.
Even though he started out with the affirmative that it was.
But then again, something being orange
He's
doesn't
not got the
prove it's an
humility
orange.
to admit that position that he introduced himself this evening with as a complete, I don't know, is it a lie? Is it just a misspeak? How do you address this point that you've recognised is false, that you came in with? How would you describe it now?
Recognise that
Were you
which is false.
incorrect? Did you lie? Are you going to just try and reiterate the lie, even though you've admitted it yourself? What happened, dude?
Which are you claiming is false or a lie?
Hello, Joe Biden. Talking to you. Yeah.
You said it was a proof.
I'm saying it adds to the evidence that it's a ball because we can replicate the same thing on a ball model.
What adds to the evidence?
The 24-hour sun in the north.
You define the word evidence. Does it
Evidence means proof. Evidence means proof.
Yes, and I'm saying it adds to it.
Right, so it adds to the proof then. No, it doesn't. It's an affirming the consequent fallacy. It doesn't add to the proof.
How does it not add to the proof?
Because it's an affirming the consequent fallacy to suggest that because you see a 24-hour sun, that means that you've got a reified flat Earth measured radial value put into a what system you believe you're standing on that's spherical. No, the model of a globe Earth, first and foremost, comes from flat Earth measurements. So it's ludicrous to assert that that model you thought it was being confirmed by. Well, on our model, we see a 24 hours. Who cares? We're not living on a model. That model has been made with measurements of Earth that were flat. So it can't be a globe that we're standing on. That's a reification fallacy. Furthermore, the way you formulated the proof, evidence, same thing, by the way, is to say that if we see a 24-hour sun and that matches the model, that lends to the evidence. That's a textbook affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy.
Look, to prove something is orange, something is an orange.
You don't seem to be acknowledging me. You seem to be waiting for your turn to talk by talking about orange. I heard you trying to slip that in earlier. It demonstrates that you didn't listen to me. You're just waiting for your turn to slip that in again. You haven't acknowledged a single word that I said. You've affirmed the consequent. The fallacy's form is if P, then Q, Q, therefore P. If Earth a ball, then 24-hour sun. 24-hour sun, therefore matching the model of a ball. That's your fallacy you've employed. I put it to you. Now you're asking about if I prove something's orange, meaning you've ignored me entirely. Okay?
No, what I'm saying
No.
What I'm saying is
stop.
one experiment. is not entirely
Stop him.
proof.
He's just talking straight through me. Well, wanker. I was in the middle of a sentence, Dumbo. Yeah? That means don't repeat your crap about being orange. Address the fallacy you've used. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. It's the 5th time I've put it to you. Affirming the consequent. If we see 24-hour sun, Earth ball because 24-hour sun. You inserted because it matches the model. I've addressed every point you've put to us. Now you're hand-waving everything I've said by moving on to a new point and interrupting the end of my conclusion. And it's been the 6th time it's had put to you that you're affirming the consequent of a fallacy. I've explained why it doesn't prove a ball. You asked me that and you didn't respond to that either. Why doesn't it prove a ball? Well, because the ball reification comes from flat Earth measurements. You didn't address that either. You're on to a new point.
From
So
flat
you're,
Earth.
now you're talking
hang
through me
on.
again. Now you're yammering through my conclusion again. Did it sound like I'd stopped? No. What I am expecting is now going to be laid out for you. And if you don't do it, you'll just get removed immediately at my behest. So you better shut up and listen, and you better respond to what I say in the next few words, or you'll be removed permanently. You will address the following that's had put to you 7 times. You are affirming the consequence, and your model reification comes from flat Earth measurements. Deal with them.
What flat Earth measurements?
Radial value, minimum elevation angle to Polaris gives you your radius.
Current measurements of the globe Earth originated from the observations of Eratosthenes.
So that would be a flat Earth measurement also. So it's an elevation angle to the sun. That's a flat Earth measurement of a baseline and the angle to the sun. That is also a flat Earth measurement, you stupid Dumbo. So you're saying it's not the flat Earth measurement I offered? Is this an invitation for you to talk straight through me as I humiliate you? So it's not the flat Earth measurement that I offered in form of a latitude measurement on the globe that's a line physically denotated on that globe, also on every map ever used ever, including all globe projections. It's not that I offered that is a flat Earth measurement. Instead, it's your elevation angle measurement that Aristophanes does with an angle off a flat baseline, also a flat Earth angle. How does this in any way defeat my position? Both are flat Earth elevation angle measurements, you stupid clown. They're both measuring a flat Earth, the one that you offered for an alternative that doesn't produce latitude measurements on our map. Earth is measured flat for your radial value. It's measurement of Polaris, the minimum value being the radial value for your globe reification. Not your Aristophanes measurement that's also flat Earth in basis, you stupid man. Now, what are you going to do? You've got a flat Earth reification based on a measurement of an Earth that's flat with elevation angle. You've given me one and I've given you one. Pick! I don't care which you think it is, they're both flat. Meanwhile, that's where your globe reification comes from, those flat Earth measurements. You want to use Aristophanes' flat Earth elevation angle? Fine. Still a flat Earth angle to a light in the sky that Aristophanes did. Earth's measured flat for that angle you gave. So, okay, Earth's measured flat. That's where you get your reification of a globe from. So it's definitely not proving a globe if the model comes from flat Earth measurements. Aristophanes or elevation angles to Polaris for latitude. You stupid clown. Just out of interest, a new question. How does it taste being told how stupid you are and your lack of acumen when it comes to the globe R measurement with latitude, minimum elevation to Polaris, not Aristophanes' elevation angle to the sun off a flat Earth? How does it feel to have your ignorance and stupidity pointed out by a flat Earth who is obviously talking you with total disdain and pointing out how utterly stupid you are? How does that feel?
Well, being yelled at by a ravenous Englishman, that feels a bit of genetic memory there.
It seems like you didn't understand the question. You are obviously incapable of listening. How does it feel to have your flat Earth reification into a globe by way of a measurement being pointed out to you? My question was, how does your ignorance about the globe taste coming from a flat earther? And you explained how you feel about my tone and my Englishness. It doesn't seem to comprehend that you understand what I'm putting to you. I'll slow down because you're stupid. How does your demonstrable ignorance taste in regards to the R value acquisition for a globe reification when coming from a flat earther? Third attempt, you stupid man.
Yeah, good. I was about to warn the mods. Any more outlandish racism towards the English like that? that needs stopping.
Why am I hearing Adam? How does it feel to have your ignorance about where your globe are reification of a model that came from flat Earth? How does that feel? You've been demonstrably shown to be ignorant by a flat earther. I'm asking how you now feel about it. You're just telling me how you like being talked to by an Englishman? I didn't ask that. Why isn't he responding to me?
He's quit. He ran.
Oh,
That's
he
how
ran
it
at whack
felt.
rather than
Felt
tell
so
me
bad he
how
had to
his
quit.
abject humiliation tasted. Yeah, I'll say it like I did last time. Running away and telling me how it feels to be talked to by an Englishman isn't an acknowledgement of Earth being measured flat for a radial value. That was not a win. This is a win. Earth is measured flat. That is a win. Cowards. All they can do is run away when they get shown to be stupid.
Interesting, he quit.
Abject coward. The ad hominem is the last bastion of the failing globe believer. I haven't managed to prove that we're proving radial value measurement with an elevation angle that Aristophanes provided. That was humiliating. So now I'll address how you're talking to me and then quit. No humility, total coward.
Interesting how bad they'll descend. Because as I pointed out to him, his proof of a globe Earth was a midnight sun in the north. Something that wasn't argued by globers or flat earthers as arguable and perfectly feasible on both ideologies. Yeah. The point of the final experiment was to make this, because actually it is a ball breaker again. Yeah. You know, in terms of, doesn't affect us in the slightest, but it is a ball breaker because we're not the ones defining things have to happen in a certain way, fundamentally based on R. So it's interesting that, as I said earlier, and critique people, their lack of knowledge, that this guy would come in below, way below the bar. The cite that a northern sun is a proof of a globe is, this is the shit. This is what we've got. Muppets. That's why we shouldn't give him that much time. Second one of us sniffs it and calls it, we should just move on and take our word for it. They're a waste of space. They're not here to help anybody. Yeah, whatever your view, they're not here to help. Their sole purpose is that bollocks, which is you know. He did again. The key one is, doesn't matter what you've said, how pertinent it is to what they've just said to you, how much you're addressing their point. Doesn't matter what comes out your mouth. They're just gonna railroad it and carry on with nonsense that you try to then intellectualize and make sense of, give a rebuttal for the audience, and we've got to stop that because they're just retards spouting shite.
This is where QE should be hovered over the pause button for these uncomfortable silences, but it's like he's vanished.
No,
He's eating.
I'm still
Oh,
here.
he's eating.
No, I'm still
he just
here.
cleared
I
his
was
mouth.
listening.
No, you weren't, because I asked you to mute.
Go, moving on, and then you just
You
press
didn't.
play like nothing's happened.
I didn't press anything. What should I do again? You giving me instructions and shit?
Yeah, press play.
I think I'm done with that video.
Are you done with it? Oh, hallelujah! Right, we don't want to. Well, can I give a disclaimer for what are the Pinky and Perky called, the two Tartarians?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Our beef is not with you. You know, no worries to you guys. If we've been hypercritical of you, don't take any of it too personally, because you're not really of interest. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You know, do your Tartaria thing, you be you. Everyone is entitled to believe whatever they like and all that gubbins. But yeah, we're trying to figure out what the fraud is, and while we might have japed that you're, you know, sniffing out the fraud so you can have a taste of it. Again, we're only joking, or maybe we're not. Would depends on if it turned out that way. Then we'd say, oh well, But my point is that we're not overtly stating that towards those two guys, are we? Duffy's the guy we're more interested in.
I mean, I'd say more power to them. If they could get an angle and blag a free trip to see some penguins, more power to you guys. My only point to you is, and I think I've made this disclaimer on your behalf, you're not flat earthers. Respect to you, you're truth seekers, you're conspiracy theorists, and you do great work that I've seen in other fields. So no, I'm not calling you out. As I said, it's interesting that this grift is bothering to engage with you guys. Interesting that. Trying to convince you guys that this false dichotomy, this affirming the consequent, formological fallacy has some significance. There's something that, as you've demonstrated, really is nothing to do with your worldview, really. It make a difference to what you're researching. And I like that research. Just, all I'd ask you is, just never say when you guys are here from looking at it that you're flat earthers. You might believe the earth's flat, and I'm with you on that, brother, yeah? But just don't say like that you speak for flat earth. Speak for what you are, which is Tartarians and history critics who may believe the earth is flat and have an interest in this, and maybe through a little bit of recognising that this guy's a shyster, you might be able to grift a free trip yourself. Good luck, and if I see you there, no, you've done it.
I found it interesting when he started saying all his Baltard stuff, that I knew Nathan was just chomping at the bit, right? I'm sitting there watching, and then as soon as Nathan piped up, Adam's there. Whoa, Nate, you got your own show.
He did get a bit zesty, didn't he? Yeah. I'm in the middle of taking someone apart. He'd see his arse, wouldn't he? If that was me interrupting him like that on his show. Just came in, took over, you noticed.
Yeah. Adam, you got your own show. Yeah, I was back here laughing, boy. I knew exactly what was going to happen there.
I could. I'm sorry, Adam. You're right. You would have seen your ass if you'd done that to me. I was thinking, God, he's so right. I'm sorry.
The thing is, when you've got someone on I was leading, and you know what? I knew you were going to be more succinct, so I didn't feel the need to push my ego. You got him there quicker. I was just leading him. I was happy. I just wanted to take him through his bullshit. And then as soon as you smelt the weakness, you took it. So fair play, but. Yeah,
I was more concerned that you're a bit shit-faced and it would have taken forever.
You see, and I appreciate that, brother. Don't worry.
Back to that.
Just to even the odds, I always make sure I have a bottle of wine, even with the most intelligent amongst you. Yeah, just to make sure it's an even playing field.
To be fair, that is fair. You are amongst the smartest of us, and to level the playing field, it is only fair that you're half shit-faced.
Yeah. Game on.
I was highly impressed. Brian didn't get involved either. Notice I didn't say a word. But
well, I got a phone call, so I went to
so I
don't know if I would have got involved or not. But actually, no. To tell the truth, I heard Adam and then Nathan both going at it, looking at the start with the guy, and I said, I'm not even going to try to get involved.
Yeah, smart move.
Yeah. That was exactly what I was going to do, but I got a phone call. I had to do what I had to do. But either way, I would have said quite anyway.
How many stupid things did he say? I mean, first he said that the Earth was round, and then, well, I'm not going to provide proof. I'm going to give evidence, and then model this, model that, and I just want some recognition that I didn't say anything.
All I wanted to do. Slowly, and that may be why it frustrated Nathan, was beat him around the head of what is proof, what is evidence, and why a 24-hour sun in the north is a distinguishment and evidence and proof of a globe. That was what he came out with. I was happy to I just wanted to stay there.
Yep.
And then let him punch himself in the face.
I would have had to get the minutia points. You know how I am. The minutia points that are quite important. The round, the proof and the evidence, which Nathan definitely got out. And the model thing. Of course, that would have taken 5 hours with many deaths and collateral damage before we got to the actual point.
I'm not biting on that phrase. I'm not allowed. That is a distraction. The word model. If you bite on that, let them have it. Yeah. After the show, the debate, right? Go and discuss with them what model means, but it doesn't prove anything other than they don't know what models are used for and the context you're stating it in. Yeah. So it doesn't help to me. That I think that's a little get out clause. It's a little rubber ducky life preserver for them that you can throw them.
Well, what I find is that I actually, if someone comes in kind of like that lad did, as I said, only heard the start of it, I'd be more likely just to conversate with him. I don't have an interest in debating the opposition anymore unless someone is trying to be tricky. Right? When someone comes in and they're trying to be tricky, when they're trying to be sneaky, and I know they're trying to be sneaky, then I want them. Or if they're coming in arrogant, then, yeah, it's on. But if it's just someone coming in with a belief like that, lad, I'd conversate with the person. I won't even debate with them, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
It'd be more just a conversation. Or I'll just say nothing. Because I can't stop someone believing something. How do you do that? You know, but I can, if someone's been sneaky, I can expose them. Or if someone comes in arrogant, I can bring them down a peg. And that's important. But if someone just has a belief in something, how are you going to get that out of that person? You can't change someone's beliefs. You can only leave them change it themselves or keep on believing it. You hear how many times can you hear the same things from the same type of people with the same type of beliefs and respond to it? You know, I think it was what's his name? Winston Churchill said that if you attack every dog that barks at you, you'll get nowhere. It's true, like, isn't it? It's that kind of a thing. There's like how much energy you're going to put into this, you know.
Well, I'll feed them to my wolf pups.
Okay.
All right. Is that it? Nathan, sir.
No, it's not. There's loads of stuff to talk about.
What else is there left to talk about?
We could talk about Nathan's attitude lately. That would be something there's lots to talk about there. It was circle the truth.
Did you want me to round out? I'm happy to.
According to
non-addressers.
You can all try and go sideways. I know I keep raising it, and you all just laugh and you're polite. Chinook Sun model.
We've already addressed it. We've recognized it. How many times? We get it.
I can have a Chinook Sun model.
Yeah, you can. We've already addressed. What are you saying that we've blown it off? No, we've recognized it.
They can't have a globe model.
Take us home, Nathan.
With that, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of today's Quantum Eraser Live panel and anybody from the public who happened to join. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, giving Quantum Eraser money via PayPal and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley. Massive thank you to everyone. We'll see you all in the next Quantum Eraser Live.
Stay tuned for BALLBUSTERS this Saturday, too. QE out.
There is no triangulation in celestial navigation. So it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation. So it is actually triangulation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation to the GP. So you can draw it on your chart, draw a line there, and then you do it for all three, and you get your intersection. So it is actually triangulation. There is no triangulation in celestial navigation.
With celestial navigation using a sextant, we're not triangulating.
So it is actually triangulation.
Are you serious? Are you
The double-speaking McBooger-eating, ball-tarred bum-sniffer wouldn't know what the sextant or celestial navigation were if they climbed up his arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in concertina wire.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
What the hell did you just say?
I think the sun is a physical object, and I think it is solid enough.
Say what?
Yes, a gas giant bounces radar.
How in the world can a
gas giant
be
solid enough? So yeah, I don't know, you
dumbass cracker.
So yeah, I was being a hyper. That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
That was a hyperbole.
You are so dumb. Damn.